Hello, Edward. No kites. How are you both doing? Fantastic. It is Friday. That is the best day of the week. Well, I don't know. Because I'm a Monday through Friday worker. It's hard between Friday and Saturday, but I think it's probably Friday because I think the hope for a weekend is sometimes better than the output of a weekend. And I also get every other Friday off, so it's just always kind of every other's even better. But it depends. If it's like a gorgeous weekend and I go out and do stuff, that's always a great weekend. Hello, Blur. Okay, yep, I was just making sure my mic is working. Sometimes forget to hit certain buttons. Oh, I don't even know Source Filmmaker open. I had to shut it down because I was rendering actually over the last couple of days, and I forgot it was in 4K. I was opened the wrong file too. I think I've gotten the full, like the last part of it rendered, but I might have to go back and like double check and see if there's some things I might need to redo. I haven't actually looked at it yet. He's not here yet. He hasn't made it home yet. Hello, Midnight. He'll probably be home next 15-20 minutes. The wrong file, and that's going to make me reset this now. So SFM is a wonderful program. Hello, Picavore. Hey, you get to see the grass. But the only thing that's different. I'm trying to think, like, if I want to change the intro, so like this kind of stream intro, but I kind of like it because it kind of checks a lot of boxes for me. Like relaxing piano music. I can't hear it, only you guys. And just like the sun setting over a field, like there's nothing better to me. Omar Tractor Michael is going to join us again. No. Warhorse is not be joining us. It will be Michael. Probably. I mean, I haven't seen him. Maybe he's like ran away. I think the stream intro is wonderfully calming. Yeah, that was kind of the thought. Like, plus that is actually a repurpose of. There was a series I was working on, not a series, I guess, but I had an idea where I was trying to find a way to make commissions that were high quality but easy to do. And so I was working on these loops that were single scenes that could be looped forever, and a character could be put into it, and then somebody could buy the rights to use it and customize it. So then all I would have to do is like reload to the character that they would want, and I could have it re-rendered within a day or two. And or if they wanted it customized further, I could. But then you could have it be much cheaper than a full custom from the scratch type thing. So it's to make it so that a single bit of work could be cheaper because it would be spread amongst lots of people. So I just never finished it. This was the one I did, and then I never got around to doing any others. I started one other one, but never did finish that one either. But it was an idea I had, and that was years ago. But I like repurposing stuff, and that's essentially what that is. It's a repurpose. So I think we're all good here. Hello. So I may go back to that at some point, but I think what I'll probably end up doing is there's a different smaller series that we want to do, and that would be about the same amount of work, and I think I'm going to do that instead. I feel like my frame rates Oh, it's not the lights. Feels like it's running slow. Why is it running so slow? I can work with it, but annoying. Oh wait, okay. Oh wait, oh, okay. When I'm not don't have it selected, it works. Whatever. Storyboarding it kinda. So the only things I have left for this video, which now that I look at it, it's gonna be probably like a minute 40. That was actually nearly twice as long as I thought it was gonna be. Is I need to do a couple of these setup shots. And originally, unless it's open right now, it's not. I was going to have some voice acting needs on these shots, and I decided that I don't want to just hold everything off right now, waiting for these where I can do that. I'd have to put the whole thing on hold. So instead, I'm going to just redo these shots as I currently have them planned to instead be something where it doesn't require such things. So I just opened up my BIOS earlier on my motherboard. And black screens every now and then with your graphics card.
Well,
you're back.
The rumor is that it will be out on the 20th.
Yeah, but that's days away, and I want to work on it now. So I'll probably have to go with my original plan, or not my original plan, my original backup plan. So
this might use different voice software temporarily.
The other thing too is I think it's pacing. So there's no talking for the Scootaloo parts. I kind of like the fact that there's no talking. Like, it'd be weird to have it suddenly jump to talking and then it go away again. So I'm thinking it might be better to go that route anyway. And I think it might actually be easier.
Wait, which one's handsome, Michael?
Derpy.
Hey, Derpies. Got distracted by Derpies.
9,812 hours of SFM. Yes, actually, was it 9? I thought it was 9,800 last I looked. Okay, we're 9,812. I got to figure out what I want to do when I hit 10K. I mean, that's not for like months still, but I do want to do something. I want to try to time it so that I can hit 10K while I'm doing it. But I might not do that one on Twitch. I might actually do it on YouTube. Because I think that would be the platform better set for something like that.
More distracting derpies from morals. Pretty good.
64 hours every 2 weeks. You can archive it in like a month. No, it's usually per week. I probably put on 10 to 12. So you're looking at, well, I don't know, like now that the podcast thing is kind of caught up and stable, I want to put more time into it. So let's say it's 15 to 20. That would still take me 2.5 to 4 months. So I used to be in here like 40, 50 hours a week, and that's why it kind of built up fast. Okay, so these shots then, I'm just going to archive these because I'm just not going to use, well, kind of. Oh, yeah, I can just archive them.
You're not going to use any of them?
No, I'm going to, well, technically no, because I'm just going to redo this one. Well, as they are, no. But if I go and modify them as they are, then if I do decide to go the other route, I don't have it anymore. So the idea is I can just archive these and, and then if needed to recover them. Traditional way for archive is purple.
Are you ready to put in the video destroyer yet?
The video what?
The video destroyer.
What is the video destroyer? Oh, that thing. No, that's probably going to be last because an establishing shot is super easy. And if anything, I could probably it looks like they're surrounded by light poles.
You just got two faces simultaneous.
We're dead. Can Michael direct the face? The last time I had him speak for whatever character I was having him speak, he immediately went for incest. So
Wait, no.
yeah, you did. It was Big Mac and Applejack talking, and the first thing you said Applejack say was "kiss me."
You never had your sister kiss? You don't like the cheek?
Not that way.
But why was it that way?
Was that which way do you mean?
Kiss. All that matters.
You just said it. That there is
friendly kisses.
I wish I'd had a button that would just make Michael explode. And then it would like randomly put them back together again. Okay, I just want to move this camera out here. So that I have a little bit of context as to it being outside boutique. Definitely going to have a little bit more than that. But okay, stupid faces. Michael. We'll have Michael direct then. But to a limit. We'll use this shot. Okay, I need a character that's not derpy.
How about your OC?
Okay. I will load. Now I'm even more scared, actually. Do you think US Netflix or any Netflix server for that matter will ever get season 9 of? Actually, if you have a VPN, more than likely you could probably find it. Because that's all that really matters. I've wanted to watch Better Call Saul season 5, but it's not in the US. At least last I checked, but it's in certain other countries, so I've just been meaning to get a VPN so I can watch the last one. Your prefer for make it double. No, Pokemon. Yeah, there's less stupid faces. What quote last time I had Michael speak for any character immediately went for incest? Yep, that does make sense. Last I checked, UK Netflix didn't even have half the series. Yeah, there's a website you can check. Just search like Netflix availability VPN. There's an actual like website that will show you, if you search for a show, what countries have it available or what seasons are available, and it'll give you a full rundown, so you'll even know what countries to do it in. So, all right, Michael. And it can't. No kissing. No. Aggressive hugging.
It's aggressive hugging.
It's the PG-13.
Well, I'm going to do something worse. Make your character boop himself. Ha ha! Self boops.
Self boops?
Yes. With his back leg.
Like legitimately or
I mean, like
painfully?
No.
Because like painfully is like this.
No, like
legitimately?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, this is going to be. I can't use a wing. I'm guessing.
Don't be so stupid. No, they got a self poop.
That's actually kind of difficult.
Yeah, I know it is. Because these models don't bend right.
No. Well, you can make them do anything as long as you don't care how they look. Michael's so creative. I know.
Fine. Also, make his wings huge.
Well, I gotta. No, it's like you can't just say like
it's not called out. So, make his wings big.
Doing the back leg is actually kind of difficult to make it look legit.
Make his head inside out. There you go. See? Creativity. Did it, everyone. Make him president of an Arby's.
I haven't even done the first one. President of an Arby's.
Yes, president of Arby's.
Where did that one?
He's got the meat.
Oh. Do you still want that one?
No. No one knows this is just Rainbow Dash. There's no meat.
Legitimately or painfully is there. That is a legitimate question.
I kind of want to eat more Dino Nuggies.
I thought they were kind of eh.
They were shaped like dinosaurs.
I know, but
What more do you need? It's like the highest of the high dining.
I don't like corn because it's shaped like a dildo. I mean, what do you want? The shape of something doesn't dictate
I
its
never
flavor.
thought that. Is that like the thing that goes through your head every time you're eating corn on the cob? It's like,
Well, apparently shape
I hope this doesn't look like a dildo.
shape is apparently a very important part of your flavor profile.
Yes. Well, what is dinosaurs?
There's actually something I read where because I know Michael will laugh at this, but there's a company trying to bring back the woolly mammoth.
Yeah, and I really want to eat.
Yeah, his whole thing is he wants to eat a woolly mammoth.
I do. Because they have to be delicious, right? By all logic, they're super good. Because they got eaten into extinction.
No, I'm pretty sure that wasn't their consumption that was the problem. There's probably other factors, but
Somebody ate them.
Somebody
Ate them into extinction. I mean, maybe it was like the dinosaurs. And don't tell me they weren't around. I seen the Flintstones. They were around.
Very historically accurate TV show. Okay, so if that back leg is up, I have to have this leg out. See, I'm trying to actually make it legit because he said I had to make it legit.
It needs to be adorable.
He's got to look surprised, right? Like, how did this happen?
Yes. Or I hope no one's watching.
Well, pretty good for that. Okay. Because I got to get it so his he can actually turn around, but he has to be far enough away so his leg doesn't like cause other issues. So there we go. Okay.
Flintstones was a documentary.
He's fine. He knows what's going to happen.
He got a little derps, but that's okay. Yours is like a little bit of the older model, isn't it?
I actually checked. This model was made in early 2014. So the joints are not parented, or why do they move individually? Oh, because I don't have the way you try to print out is probably an IK rig. I don't have an IK rig set up for him. When you try to do like very extreme positioning, like pushing him down and moving around, the pony models their rig doesn't work very well. And a lot of that is because of this distance right here. So the farthest that I can have somebody bend down is the distance of their joints. Because of that, the distance between these two bones is very short because they're so close to each other. So the furthest I can have them bend down on the rig is like 6 inches. Same with the front legs, because one part of the leg is so much shorter than the other, which is much, much longer. So the furthest I can usually bend them down into certain positions is very limited. So if I want to get them into some of those awkward positions, I have to not use the rig. Otherwise, it's just not going to look right. So that's why I tend not to. I don't think there are better rigs out there than some, but for the most part, it's all kind of meh. What?
Nothing.
What are you laughing about?
Nothing. There's nothing about the pose to laugh about.
You asked for this. This is the last time I do anything for Michael.
Like, I got a butt back there. Pretty great.
I know he does, but his calf,
pretty excited.
Even at this distance, I think I'm gonna have to stretch him a little bit just to try to get the distance.
Maybe he's just trying, like self boop.
Well, I mean, he can boop, but it's gonna be in his head.
No, it's gotta be legit.
Well, for one, this wing's gotta be out of the way more.
Like, hey, it's my cutie mark. I earned that by like sitting in a chair for 10,000 hours.
Hey, how'd you know? Looks like I'm trying to scratch something behind my ear.
Trying to give scritches. This pawn wants scritches.
I gotta get rid of Okay, that's a
Booping
little
with the
easy.
wing would be too easy.
Yeah, the pooping with the wing would be a little easy. Wouldn't have Willie made with just tastes like an elephant? I don't know. I think that's what Michael wants. Is he wants it's one thing to eat things that already exist, but he wants to go exotic.
I just assume that it must have been super tasty. Because they got eaten up. Them and the dodos. Now they did get eaten up. So, I want
yeah, but because we're in an industrial environment. Woolly mammoths were. It's not like a bunch of dinosaurs were down having a conversation. You're like, hey, dude, you got to try this.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Have you looked up what actually caused the extinction?
Yeah, it was caveman McDonald's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like before eating his foot, and you're like, delicious foot. I got it's that adorable. Take pictures of post it. Almost more when he's like eating his like trying to get an it.
I'm gonna move this so that it's actually in a decent position. It's getting into some awkward bends, so I think I can do this, and then I can bend it down, pull it back a little bit. There we go. So, and then he's got to be.
It's a flexible pony.
Oh yeah.
He getting that boop. Kissing his hoof. Give him scrunch face.
He's got like a tick. Like boop, boop, boop.
Boop-o-matic. You did it. Is this properly? Is this what you all wanted? Are you happy now?
This is what you wanted.
No, the stream wanted me to want this. I could feel it in my bones.
It was our expansion universe. 1F9C Ladodos, probably.
Dodos were the original chicken nugget.
He stepped in some ketchup.
Licking off the ketchup.
And he really likes ketchup. Or he's biting his nails because he's a nervous person.
Is that what it is?
No, the positioning right now, if I had like the back leg here should technically be out like probably like this. Or no, probably more like that. Because he's gonna have to balance himself out and he's kinda a little rough.
Now all he needs is socks in a box.
No.
You do have a second stupid face you still have to do. I don't think I get to direct that one.
Well, we could make me the president of Arby's.
Okay. Got their proved your self-booping abilities, and they were like, make that man president. Put it away in the W2F.
Sometimes I actually like maybe later I'll think of, hey, I actually need a pose similar to that, and that's easier to start as a base. Might as well just reuse it. Okay, so we got let's grab never waste ketchup. No. He stepped in a whole bunch of red and it was definitely ketchup. I actually thought about this. So we added this horn here because it was requested. Actually, I don't know if it's gonna be the shot anymore, but now I think about it, it's kind of a reference to a previous video I made that's kind of dark.
It would kind of make sense to have detachable horns, though, in the boutique for the mannequins, because you could switch it up.
Yeah, but being it's purple, and this is where they pulled the hammer to beat Starlight, reference to it.
Broke her horn off.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so we need Arby's. How can I make him reference Arby's?
Type in sandwich and see what comes up.
Probably nothing of that's good.
Street sandwich.
There's a sandwich. And he's a snack.
No.
Robo sandwich. There's
Why'd you skip street sandwich? Oh. Sandwich
you can't eat that.
Boring.
There's nothing from Arby's.
Gift wrap sandwich. Type in burger. And they don't have burgers.
No, I have burger.
Yeah.
Not boyga. I got burger.
Not burger. Well, if he was President McDonald, he'd be set.
Feed me.
Nobody wants to be President McDonald's. That's like a downgrade and a half.
Bouncy big burgers.
One. That burger is high. Hamburgers should be high.
Burger tank.
If anybody gets that reference, you are my hero.
Is this just?
It's sliders.
Yeah, this is White Castle.
Yeah, the tank is shooting White Castles. You get the references. Burgers should be high.
I don't know how to make Arby's.
Well, make him the president of food. That was a good looking food.
Presidents.
Gotta be the president. Otherwise,
presidents need to wear boots.
You're gonna get ketchup on that suit.
Look, he's so fancy now. He's going to get ketchup on it. He's wiggling.
Just use the Blood Light. That'll be ketchup.
And then we need to give him. I don't like the white tie.
I'm checking on the off chance for.
Did you message Jay?
I will message him. Now.
Sure.
Yeah. You will be upset.
I was thinking of not saying anything because you probably would have forgot.
Like you did.
Yeah, after just saying, I won't forget.
What time?
Noon.
Okay. That's pretty early.
It's always noon. We get best seats, best temperatures. We're going to Sociables tomorrow. Going to get some booze. Okay, so it's pretty fancy. Actually, how can we make them extra fancy? Well, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make. Need top hat.
No, not top. That's like everybody's got a top hat. That makes it not fancy anymore.
But that's.
He needs like a beanie.
Are you saying that this isn't
a beanie? Would be.
This isn't fancy.
That's classic fancy. But he needs to be like fun for the kids fancy.
I know, but a beanie means wrapping around the head. I don't have anything that does that.
There's no beanies.
Not for horses, not that I know of. I'm going to give him not just a top hat. I thought about it, but I don't have a model for that. I could kind of make one, but and then what does he also need? He needs
from the Dimsdale Dimodomes.
He needs a monocle.
And
he needs to.
Twilight is cutest princess. I mean,
hello, Violet.
Princess.
Bowler hat? Ooh, actually, yeah. Is there a bowler hat? That might actually work.
Almost certainly. TF2 has no shortage of hats.
Yeah, well, there's no shortage of hats, but there's no.
What if he was wearing two hats?
There's no shortage of hat, but there is a shortage of what I have available because SFM at the when you download, it doesn't download everything TF2 ever has. It's of at a specific point.
Hmm.
I like this. I like that more. You have a good idea.
I want to give him a fedora.
Being choked by the hat. No, he's gonna be like Odd Job Pwn.
Dapper. Have it float slightly. Like that. Like float above his head like an old cartoon. Like he's ready to go on detective cases.
It kind of reminded me. I was watching a show on Netflix called something in Bone, Shadow and Bone, I think. And there's a character, it's probably the best in there, that has a gun, and I love his character, but he kind of dresses dapper like this. So he's kind of getting that vibes. I think he wears a bowler hat. I can't keep it gray though, because that's kind of weird. So I can't make it also pure black. That's why in the other one I kind of add a little bit more. But
Can't you just make it darker?
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I can add in color, and then I just do like, let's do 0.5. Work.
Yeah. It's about, I mean, he's the president of fast food, so.
The president of all fast food.
Yes, the fastest of food. So he looks fancy, but it's really all just bought at Walmart. So he took what he could get. I just want him to be like have ketchup stains and like a piece of toilet paper stuck to his foot.
I guess that does kind
He
of.
just came out of the bathroom at the fast food restaurant, and it's not as clean as you'd hope. Still better than the gas station. That's why you went there, but not great. Great.
Gonna have to do.
You're committing a sin, sir. The deepest of sins.
There's no cane,
Oh.
so he's gonna have his scepter.
I feel it. I feel children across the world crying.
Hey, this was funny when it came out.
It's terrifying when it came out. That's why it was.
No, the best
Fun.
part about it was Twilight's face.
Yes.
Because she just did not give a shit, and it was great.
It looks like he's gonna start singing, putting on the Ritz. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah. Giving you that look like, haha, I know what's up. I got the money. All I have to do is come here, look fabulous, and you will pay me all the monies.
He's rich, so he can't smile.
I'd be smiling if I was rich.
And then he only says one word. It's oh.
I mean, I would need to smile because I have to cover up the fact that I killed my rich uncle to gain my millions. And by driving his BMW off a cliff, the ocean, and framing his niece, who I never liked, for the murder. So,
Is there anything more I can do to make him dapper?
he could use a mustache. But then he looks old dapper instead of young dapper. Right now he's looking young dapper.
Let's see what it looks like.
There you go. Donks.
What was that sound?
I was thinking of something that rhymed with dapper that you could put him in, but then I thought against it. Leave that to the stream's imagination.
About making it bigger, but I kind of like this, like, just
It's the tiny little. I spend 30 hours a day grooming my mustache.
actually when it's tiny, it looks like he should be painting paintings in Paris.
He definitely spends a lot of time in Paris with that mustache. You need to give him like a glass of wine that he could be like sipping and being like, "This is an okay vintage."
Oof. Puts John to shame. Look at that.
Impressive. Now he looks like he left France and went to Texas.
It's pretty dapper though. Main's a little. That means being a little goofy. I get rid of that. I don't think I'm going to be able to. That's not get up here. I don't think I'm going to be able to hide. That part of the main's not hideable. Normally, I could just kill that in After Effects or something, but I'm not going to. Is he French? He is.
Horse.
He's horse. Yeah,
He's busy tomorrow.
that's fine. Make the offer.
Like, how'd you make your money, sir? How did he make his money? It's like I struck it rich in the chicken nugget fields. It's like the massive underground caverns filled with chicken nuggets, delicious deep fried golden nuggets, like delicious. I hope someday I can find golden nugget golden chicken nugget. That
Nightmare fuel. So this is apparently
no, those are nuggets.
no. That's a grub nugget from episode 2.
Oh, they're delicious. Freeman eats them, so they've got to be pretty good. No, that was a delicious golden chicken nugget.
No, I'm pretty sure that was like a living creatures thing. You're thinking like Slurm rules.
No, in episode 2, you collect those. They're health. They're food.
Why
don't you want to eat the bug nuggets?
do not want to eat the bug nuggets. Ooh, the chickens. They have a fun time chicken.
Fun time chicken is good chicken.
What they have a killing floor chicken. Okay, well, we'll just load in this.
Said perhaps next week, but I think we're all busy.
For the most part. And the main benefit or the reason for doing it this week is that it's beautiful weather tomorrow.
That nugget getting away. Like, Mom, I'm gonna get money.
Why?
I'm interested. Is there because there's like a nugget that won't eat the nugget. I mean, that would make sense if he found like a mind of nuggets, delicious nugget mines. Like, dude, those are from giant insect bugs. It's like delicious chicken nuggets. Mm-mm. It's like that. What was that episode of Futurama? The poplars. Oh no, the nugget fountain. There is for Source Filmmaker too.
Hmm?
Somebody was asking if there was such a thing as VR Source Filmmaker. I'm like, Source Filmmaker too.
Source 2 is or on VR, but you can't go into Source Filmmaker and run it in VR if that's what you're talking about. It's I don't think it
would
works
be
that way.
kind of cool to animate in VR.
No, I think it'd be interesting and neat, but I think the workflow would be much slower for me.
But like,
We get a drink.
I was wanting to figure out the nugget thing.
Well, we'll be getting that figured.
Now, I think it would be cool if you could move and then a model would move with you in VR. That would be neat.
But it would be hard to do that well in VR.
You could do like a rough in VR and then clean it up after.
Yeah, no, that I can understand. Actually, problem is how do you what does VR record?
Arm movements, head movements, position.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, there could be some sort of automatic walk.
No, there's
cycle.
There are accessories you can get to make any other point in your body be tracked by VR. Mm-hmm. So there's like Linus does it.
Movements now.
Well, the finger movements are not per finger. They're just they're simulating what point of your finger is touching it at the time. But no, they have like things you can put on your legs and it will track your legs position. So like Linus will do Beat Saber and he'll have an avatar of his character, but he actually will pay attention where his legs are going. Yeah. So
I mean, some people are already doing like some animations, I guess you could call them that, in like what's that game where everybody just goes in and plays VR characters?
VR chat,
yeah. And people are just kind of recording that. And it's rough. It's definitely not near the same as, say, something like this.
But. No, I don't know. Like, some of the facial stuff is actually spot on. I posted something in our Discord yesterday about that. That was really good.
It was entertaining.
I found it very funny. Yeah, it was very funny. Some of the VR chat stuff has actually been pretty cool. And a lot of people that normally don't like presenting themselves to have some place where they can. Yeah. And I think that's kind of cool. There we go. Okay, so
and that, I mean, major studios have been doing mocap for years, and but
the mocap that they do is a very different thing.
Far more advanced.
Oh yeah, and it's only been more advanced since then.
Give it 20 years, and some people are going to probably be doing some pretty decent looking stuff in their home. With motion capture.
Well, they could do motion capture stuff before with Kinect.
Yeah, it was a little janky. But...
Okay, so Michael, so this made him look even more dapper.
Oh yes, the old light.
But then this is the moment that he struck rich.
When he hit the gold nugget mine.
When he hit the gold nugget mine, look at it go.
Delicious chicken nugget.
That was not.
That's not enough to be rich. That's like 5 Happy Meals at best.
Okay, we're gonna zoom in like this. No, then.
For days.
So many nuggies. I don't like where it's coming from, so we're gonna do like
nugget lines.
Kind of just nuggets are not kind of just like this Like, you know what? There's only one thing that's
Now it
missing in
looks like
this.
he's like out on the streets in old England,
Yeah,
ready
that's
to
what-
murder someone.
I was gonna see, is there like a Big Ben model? And then we need to make it cloudy.
England,
Yeah, because England.
Big Ben.
Not Ben 10.
A lot of Ben Tennysons.
It just had the word big, so we got Clifford the Big Red Dog,
Oh, try-
Gordon the Big Engine.
Just try Clock Tower. All the same. Parliament.
It's about what the models are available. I'm guessing that that's not one of them.
Does not appear to be the case.
They made more.
I'm sure there's a Big Ben Tower somewhere. Probably be a search.
Relevance. No, that's not going to matter either. I have a feeling that it has to be in here. That seems like something that somebody would make.
Somebody's super boring.
No, but it's useful.
Why make Big Ben when you can instead like make Beetlejuice? Like Beetlejuice.
Your brain works in mysterious ways. I was actually, so one of the things I'd wanted to make a while back, is actually the whole reason the Rathalos thing started for a while, was I was wanting to remake one of the Final Fantasy intros, cutscenes, and I just didn't have a dragon that worked. I think I actually have one that works now.
You should do the opening to I Love Lucy, but with dragons. What? Different schoolhouse?
Oh, damn.
That's a whole map.
Yeah, because it's way better. Well, I would say it's more detailed than the one I have, but the one I have is a separate model. This is the map. I wouldn't be able to make that work.
If you really wanted it.
But it depends. More than likely, it's built. The walls and everything are going to be built with the hammer bits.
Mm-hmm.
You can't export that to a model.
Oh, of course you can.
Hammer?
Yeah.
So if this was a mixture of imported models, well, these other parts were using walls that were built within Hammer, and they're two completely separate entities on two completely separate files.
It'd be a pain in the butt. It didn't say what.
No, because these walls aren't 3D models.
Yeah.
They're not. So how do you export it? They're, well, kind of.
They have to be 3D models.
No, they're not.
They have to be.
No, have you ever worked in Hammer?
Yes. Old, long time ago in the.
It's the same thing.
Source, like Counter-Strike.
Hammer is you're building walls in the software. There's nothing exportable.
Those walls exist. They can be exported.
There supposedly is a software that you can take an instance of anything running in 3D and it will export everything. Mm-hmm. And so you can then extract whatever you are from it, but I don't think so. Anyways, I'm not going to bother with that.
No.
I mean, it's an okay map, but it's the problem was I would need it to move, and I would need it to, and then I wouldn't have any control of like the fences and stuff. That's one thing one reason I like using scene builds instead of just pre-made maps. Pre-made maps give you a lot of simplicity, but the more simple you make things, the harder it is to modify. So if all you need is the simple bit, sure, great, you're fine. But then say that fence is in your way. You can't do anything about it unless you completely export the whole map and remodify it and export it without that fence. So scene builds to me they take a little while to set up, but you can just customize the crap out of it, and that's why I greatly love that instead. I think I'm just going to keep it like that then. I guess we don't have a Big Ben. It's like it's England at night or in the evening.
Well, he is either about to murder or be murdered. Given the cane, I'm thinking he's the murderer.
He's the murderer. What do you make it sound like? This is like Clue.
Well, it is England. That's where Clue happened.
Is it?
I think so. They all seem very English.
There's actually, I found a version of Clue that was on Steam that you can get. And I thought you could play it multiplayer online. I thought that would actually be kind of fun. But it's you have to buy that game specifically.
Play it on, like, tabletop.
But it helps, because one of the things we always had a problem with playing Clue before was everybody had difficulty trying to figure out the notating thing. And there it actually helps you keep track of that stuff. Let's kind of fancy there. You know what? I'm just going to delete the nuggets because they're kind of stupid. It was going to take up a lot of space.
That's how he made his fortune. In nuggets.
Imagine if they recompiled SFM in 64.
That's what Source Filmmaker 2 is.
Yeah, they won't.
They're trying to make it.
They won't recompile it.
They're just going to keep trying to make Source Filmmaker 2 use all the stuff from.
Yeah, they
when the next big Source game comes out, fingers crossed it'll be Half-Life 3. I'm sure Source Filmmaker will get a huge update.
I don't think it's going to get a huge update. I think it's incremental. They're just putting it out there right now so that people can kind of enjoy it and have some fun with it. But
the big thing from my perspective is just moving over all the assets or making it super easy.
They're not going to move over assets.
Well, like models and stuff.
People are going to move it over, but they're not going to. They're not going to move shit over. Why would they?
Because they're Valve.
No, they're going to give the tools for people to do it. All the models exist.
As they give. That's what I'm saying. Creating something to make it super easy. Like, I want to use this model from Source Filmmaker 1. Okay, drop it here.
Oh, it's not going to be.
Program will convert it.
I wouldn't call it super easy, but as long as it's easier than the current method in some way, then I'm fine.
Yeah, because taking anything from Source Filmmaker and converting it into a different format for a different program is possible, but it is not fun.
Making it a picture just for fun. I like it. Mine's just TSM, but I found out S2FM, but I found out that you can't put models into it like you do for SFM. Yeah, there. I used it for a bit, and I ended up, or I didn't use it for a bit. We played around with it, and just to see what is it about, is it worth switching to, and we determined that it's cool. It's I'm looking forward to it, but as it stands right now, some of the make or break features aren't there. Material overrides didn't quite work. I don't think they worked at all, but otherwise they just don't work even the way I'd want them to. And you're not able to bring facial features in. So I was able to bring Rathalos in. I have him working. His rig works and everything. The thing that doesn't work is any of his facial features, which is kind of difficult. Well, how do you make a character work in there if you can't even move their face? So it would just be a static face. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm not doing that. So I'm looking forward to when those tools exist for better porting. But until then, it's for people that want to utilize it for the new stuff or put the ton of time in to make something work there. Supposedly you can get facial stuff to work, but you have to like manually script it over, and I have no idea how to do any of that. It's just not worth it to me, especially since putting hours and hours into something that then is eventually going to be automated. All it was to get it a couple weeks or months early.
Yeah, the only animations I've seen so far with Source Filmmaker 2 have been using the models from Alex. So.
Yeah. But even then, you're taking some very professionally done models. The people that within the community have definitely improved and are pretty good, but they're not up to the caliber of somebody that's getting paid to do it 40 hours a week. So I don't
know about that, man. Not a single one of those people have made a pony yet. Whackers, if you had. Especially that Gaben fellow.
Yeah, I bet you he's the modeler. Actually, nobody even works at Valve. It's just Gaben.
I'm sure he knows how to do it. He probably hasn't done it since like 2000.
Yeah, which means he probably doesn't know anything about current day.
No. Asked him one time which was his favorite Half-Life. Half-Life 1 or 2. Or Half-Life 1, 2, or Alex. And he said Alex immediately. And they're like, why? Because I had, he answered, because I had to do the least amount of work for Alex. I have other people now.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
That sounds like a you response.
He's just like, he's like, pretty much like, I had to do a lot of work on Half-Life 1. Half-Life 2, it was a little bit less work, but it was still a lot. I did next to nothing on Alex. It's pretty much just like, does this look good? And it's like, thumbs up. I do think they're working on Half-Life 3, and I think they've been dropping hints here and there.
I think they've been working on Half-Life 3 for a very long time.
They've pretty much stated that there's been at least, I think, 2 iterations of Half-Life 3 that got thrown out. One of the previous writer, the person who wrote Half-Life 2 through episode 2, he wrote his version of the ending, but it's pretty much already stated that that's not what.
Like, that's what she said, but as that's what Michael said. I use the term a lot that something is very, very Michael, because
wonderful.
He's a very unique individual.
You know, something's good when it's been Michael. Believe that. He's definitely like, the darker you make the skies, the closer the murder gets. You just need to put like a dim light.
He's got the murder weapon
coming from that lamp, like a dim orange flame.
That one. I need this light. I'm gonna probably bring it up a little bit, so that's a little darker on the bottom there. So we're gonna increase the brightness of this one, I think, so that it's more muted, because a cloudy day you're gonna have light coming more evenly from all sides. And then we're going to copy this one. Paste.
See, we're doing. That makes a good point. We need to like do a comparison of what you wanted, this dark, brooding horse, and put it next to the horse that I wanted. So we can make a comparison.
No.
What chat wants.
Yeah. Well, chat wanted you to do your thing, and then you got like some weird crap, so I'm getting what I want. You shut up.
Oh, we can have
Michael.
both.
No.
We can all have what we want.
No, Michael.
And live in harmony. Friendship powers. Lasers. Friendship lasers.
Friendship lasers?
Yes.
What are friendship lasers?
Deadly lasers born of friendship to destroy their enemies. And occasionally, like, demigods. Really useful. No, not a Michael Judge, but I did appreciate the derpy. Derpies are good. I'm just imagining like a serious British show, like it was late in the night, on the year 1895. I was walking home from Parliament.
From Parliament?
Yes. That guy, look at that horse. He versus Parliament.
Okay.
Serious British horse show. That's gonna be the twist for the new MLP movie. Everybody's gonna like, it's gonna be fun and wacky and cute, and then it's just gonna be like hour and a half of horses doing like Law and Order episode. We're done.
So do I do it like this or... So we'll take Michael's opinion on this. Look better like this or something like... Actually, that didn't change it that much, but extra blurring that
I
out.
like the blur.
Because I mean, I could go like super blur.
I almost feel like you need like a grainy film.
Not. Oh, I'm not grabbing the right camera. I just did that change on the other camera though, so I want to make sure I'm not.
Sir Arlock knew there was a pooping. Why? We must find the culprit. The boopist is on the loose.
The boopist?
Jack the booper.
Sir Arlock. That's perfect. Okay, actually, I had the wrong camera here, so like this kind of blur.
I like that, yeah.
I think it might be a little too much because I'm even blurring that side of the face. I could probably just put it to there, and now it's now that's pretty good.
I like how this stupid face turned into a photo opportunity.
Hey, why is my character in here, Michael?
He's not booping himself with his butt sticking out. So
you
not
know
what I wanted.
That's why it started though. One more light type.
We need more shows with ponies. Just like too many humans in television, you know? Need more horses.
There's probably an equestrian channel that's just full of horses.
Yeah, but are they good horses or like...
Yeah, I knew you were going to say
horses that,
something about that.
Like poop everywhere all the time.
Maybe these horses poop everywhere all the time.
They got like outhouses. They got civil poops.
Civil poops?
Yes. They have a designated pooping place. Yay, derbies. Going to meet the D&D campaign, not clickbait. Yes.
I wanted to darken it a little bit more on his side. So like it's about the most I can do with the negative light. Actually, it feels like it didn't do anything.
I mean, I do have a new favorite cartoon show that has a horse, and like, sure, it's just coincidence.
Okay. Oh, it does. It does a little bit. Okay, cool. Wendigos are proven to be real in Gen 4, so I wonder how they get rid of the Wendigos in Gen 5. A separation of the three pony tribes would have caused them to reappear, right?
Well, they're not at war. I think that's the difference.
They invented gun.
They weren't in conflict with one another. They just didn't. They essentially forgot each other existed. So, I think Wendigos appeared when there was conflict.
Okay.
So it was different.
This side, this is the rim. Yeah, we're just gonna make it a little bit more on the blue. And we're gonna dim it down a little bit. Just enough to create an edge, but not enough to really show anything. I'll play a little brighter and a little less blue.
Sunset, I like what you're...
Does this work?
I mean, he's super dapper now. You've created the most dapper pone ever. And it
Ever?
Never seen a more dapper.
Oh, that was not the light I wanted, apparently.
Maybe if he had like an English muffin.
Would that make him more dapper?
It would make him more English, and there he would be more dapper.
If I wanted him to be more British, I would just give him a flag and have him singing "God Save the Queen."
Cup of tea. He needs a cup of tea.
But where would he put it?
In his
You're done.
mustache.
No. If I put any in his,
Yes.
I'm in this habit of just stopping listening to you at some point.
That's a healthier option. Maybe he could be like economical and just pour hot water into his mouth and just put the tea bag in there. Just let it sit. They could just have like the tea bag. I mean, it would probably be scalding him horribly, but AT.
This needs to be very dim. A little bit blue. This one's just to create a little bit of a like 3D light coming from that way. Okay. I think we're all good with him. You look good, Michael?
Do you have your OC in this video yet? You should have him.
Yes.
I was gonna say you should have him in the background, like one of the pull-away shots, just like that. Just oh, it's all animated and everything.
I just stole some animation from something else, but he's there. So
He was only wearing that hat.
let's put him, make a Dappa Ago in the. No, you stand out too much. The point of the character
I
is.
didn't even see him stand out much.
No, the point is, if I put him in that, he would. And the point is, I don't want him to stand out. I want him to be completely subtle. Imagine if Mike reaches or boosts a monitor and SFM crashes. Every time he's done that, like 3 times. Anytime I go to stand up to like use the restroom and Michael uses the computer for a short period of time, it crashes.
I just like look at it and it would crash. Be like, don't touch it. I'm like, I won't. And it's just like, it just like, and it kills the computer.
That actually reminds me. So like, on the new Argo Zone one.
Oh no.
Michael's face at when he crashes it.
That goes.
No,
My head red.
I thought it was.
You were trying to make me into one of you. A Ronald McDonald clone.
Yeah, it was kind of. And that's you crying and dying. Oh, here it is. When Michael gets sees the computer.
Wow.
Oh no, that was after the crash.
I'm talking to myself.
No, because I was talking to you from a distance. But this, when you like go to do it and it crashes. You're like, I didn't do anything.
I didn't do it. Wasn't me. You have no evidence.
I guess I'm just scared of Michael like crashing. No, so what it is normally is that like I've been sitting at high RAM a lot here, and when it's doing that, I constantly saving because I'm expecting it to crash. But when you're opening up a library to load something, you're increasing that RAM usage significantly. So if I'm already a while into something and I'm going to need to load a model, I just restart it because I know I have to refresh it. And so if I walk away and I haven't done that, Michael's just going to open up the model loader. It's going to crap on RAM, and that's what happened there. Okay. But we couldn't get an export of the picture here.
Do you need to use the restroom right now?
No. I'm pretty good. I made my drink way stronger than I normally do. So
you've been doing that a lot lately.
Because then I drink less.
Is that the plan?
Well, drink less liquid. I drink more booze, but less liquid.
I mean, you need derpies.
And actually, that is doing the whole file. I don't want to do that. I meant to do something else before I hit enter.
You've probably loaded up derpy more than any other pony in this video.
Yeah,
Is
probably. And how many times have I abused it in doing so?
every time. And how many derpies are in this video legitimately?
The right amount.
Didn't put her in it all. Because he knows if derpy's in a video, he's the focus.
I always export it as an image sequence because it just works better, and I can get the eyes into the correct position.
Very dapper you.
Okay.
Can make a good wallpaper. What are you doing?
Canceling.
Canceling what?
I only needed a couple frames.
Why didn't you just export it as a poster?
Just said that.
Yeah, you did, but I'm still confused by it.
Because if you export as a poster, bloom doesn't turn on posters. So like right now there's this extra glow. Mm-hmm. If I export as a poster, it will export it like that.
Ah.
So if I want that glow, it has to be as an image sequence or as an image. If I export as an image, that can work, but it normally is going to be at whatever the preview resolution is, which doesn't always work right. So I will normally, if I'm doing an actual good render of something, I will do as an image sequence. I'll just let it go for a couple frames until it like looks like everything's settled down, and then I'll cut it. But it did make a couple of these that I don't want, and then
models.
I
Said, but why models?
Why models?
No.
Get smart TV show starring Derpy Hooves. Would you believe I have no idea what went wrong? If all of the TV show was just like her like staring at the camera, blinking every now and then like eating a bag of chips, Michael would do nothing but watch that.
I just wanted an entire episode of her just sitting on a couch, just like not doing anything, just like having her day, like it be an hour long. 25 minutes in, somebody would ring the doorbell and like drop off a package. You'd be happy, and she'd go back to her.
Why this program's
Just
been
take a
having
nap.
this weird flash thing happen lately when I was doing it. It happened to me earlier too.
Buzz.
Hey, my Excel energy statement's ready.
Neat.
Anytime I do an image, it's the same cleanup I do. Its pixelation is kind of crap because it doesn't do...
You didn't break your OC's neck this entire time.
Nope. I only do it for bad poems.
Poems you're jealous of, you mean?
Come on, I gotta get a volume meter. But I'll go through and clean up some of these like hard edges and stuff. So let's clean up that a little bit, clean up that a little bit. These little edge bits here, that hair shouldn't be there. The easiest way to get rid of that?
Just edit it out. Solid black.
Nope. You just render it without me. It's the invisible dapper genius.
He's so dapper.
He's looking right at us.
No.
You're pressing to cancel image. Just escape, yeah. It won't register until it's between frames. So it's kind of like when you're going to try to figure out like trying to get in your BIOS or something, and you're sitting there spamming delete or something. It's the same thing. What is that? There we go. Okay. So now we have this, and now we I'll just...
That blinking is weird.
Hmm?
That blinking is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It
So
started.
seizure inducing.
I thought I restarted the computer and it was still. Oh, wrong one there. And before, and it was still doing it. So I'm not sure what the cause is, but something's being goofy, even right now.
Oh,
Yeah, that's fine. I got. Come on, there we go. Need to get the hair back in. Okay, now it's gone. Here. Okay, the neck has been mostly cleaned up.
models would be nice with a few more polygons.
Well, this is a very old model too, so.
Yeah.
Map.
Photoshop go.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, it's being stupid, but it's fine. It's working.
Should use a quality program like GIMP.
Well, I wish I don't mind problem as long as I can figure out the solution. I just haven't figured out the solution yet.
Same way I feel about my car constantly telling me I'm going over the speed limit.
Why are you going over the speed limit?
Because who can drive 60? Madness.
Those obeying the law?
Well, good for them. They're going to
Yeah, well, Michael, the speed limit's 15. It's a school zone.
British Dapper, Minnesotan Argo. Oh, I'm Minnesotan. I like hot dish and mooses.
Mooses?
The moose. God save the moose.
We don't have mooses here.
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever seen a
Sub
moose?
Canada? Yeah,
Or Sub Canada. They have them in Canada. They don't come down here.
they come down here to visit. Sub Canada. It's like, oh, what is it? We like ourselves the boogers with the Doocy Lucy. I'm Minnesotan. There you go. That's what this OC sounds like. You're welcome, chat. I did it. It's like duck, duck, gray duck. Ah.
I'm just getting really confused as to what you're trying to impersonate now.
A British Dapper, Minnesotan Argo.
That's a very, very descriptive.
Yes. So I did it. I would know. That's how he sounds when he's not in the streams. As soon as he turns this off, he's like, that was a pretty good stream, wasn't it, Mike? And I'll be like, yes, it was. He's like, oh. Don't let him fool you to think otherwise. This is all an act.
You got me.
Yep. Very bright.
Mm-hmm.
It's Michael Bay bright. Oh, jeez.
Because
It's
the
like,
brighter you make it, the larger its center, and then I can just dumb it
it's
down.
supposed to be like an oil lamp. It's like we swapped out the oil last week for nitroglycerin. Want to see how it burns. It's like we might have set a few blocks on fire, but I think other than that, it's working out okay.
No, it's called the baby steps.
It's a very sad day when Mike does impressions. Yes, Syria. Also, hello, Syria.
Sure, hello. How's it going?
I said, dear boy. I say.
Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll just decrease its opacity. The main point of this is just to add a little bit of extra oomph. If it doesn't work, I kind of like it with just a very subtle amount because it just helps create the
Well, it's supposed to be like an oil lamp too, so they weren't that bright.
But I screw you. I'm making it bright. There we go. I think it's good. Is that good?
Yeah, it's great.
There's no derpy.
There's no derby. If you walked away to use the restroom, there would have been a derby. I would have swapped, and it would have been beautiful. My drink's all gone.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like that rectified?
If you want.
Do you want vanilla?
That's what I did for that one.
Okay.
What if Derpy was British? Yeah, we did. Well, she'd probably sound the exact same because.
How would you sound?
I'm Derpy. I'm British. Oh, I like muffins. See, I can do Michael pretty good. All right, I'm gonna post that on Discord here. Where's our pictures? Yeah, there's Deborah Arkle. Deborah Arkle. No, not bad, Alexander. I'm supposed to talk when I'm on Discord. We're posting the bad things. Thank you for the follow, Tech George. Also, thank you for the bits, Nolan. More drinks, yes. I went like 1 day this week without drinking, so I can drink now. Everything else, yeah, we're good. What does it sound like, Scooby Doo? Roll Derpy. Okay, I think we're good. I can post that on like other stuff later. Okay, I'm gonna put all this in the what the fuck folder. Where's that light? That light. Put in the wrong folder? Oh, there it goes. It's fixed. Oh yeah, I'm in this. If I do the inside of their house, if Derby's British, she would speak in a Cockney accent. She would sound like Miss Brams from Are You Being Served? I have no idea what you're talking about. It is permanent. Volumetric lights are delayed. So like if I set a brightness on a volumetric and I keep clicking the button, it'll actually keep intensifying it, or because it's like it's a weird delay and it sometimes doesn't preview properly. The only way to properly preview any volumetric is basically do like this. You got to move it around, let the engine take time to process it. Kind of stupid. But
Why? Something.
It's not strong.
I don't think it's chalk.
No, it's fine. It just didn't look like dark piss. It just looked like regular piss.
No, I think vanilla extract is the one alcohol kids can get away with drinking.
Maybe.
Because there's no laws against kids having vanilla.
I'm gonna use just. I think the Desert Test 2 was fine for its lighting. Yeah. This actually makes some of the default lighting kind of work, so we'll just stick with that. But if we're gonna change this to be,
I really like that scene.
Yeah, but it's not gonna work. So we get rid of burn victim rarity. and we'd have. Okay, so a lot of this other stuff I need to keep there. The mannequins can stay, hair cart, stage, horn, yeah, that's all fine. Desk and fabric roll and gems, those go away.
You worked so hard on that. He's sad.
Thinking that, well, no, it's all still here. But sticking with something for the purpose of, I put time into it, and while I could do something else, I need to do this, stick with it now, because this is what I have. No, I've had thrown away tons of stuff for the sake of improvement. So I need to have, you know what? We're going to go to the stage.
Oh, that's Twilight's dress.
It is?
Yeah, from the episode where Rarity wasn't able to finish her dress. Her birthday.
Well, it's gone now.
Oh.
Guess I actually can't keep that now. I got to get rid of that.
Well, that should be there. That's the stage.
Well, because I just need an area to look at a wall.
Oh.
So this isn't going to be, this is all you're going to see from this angle, which means nothing else matters. It's a wall. So I just needed to get rid of it because it's a wall. I needed to have Sweetie Belle look like she's just kind of doing nothing. Think they fixed many of the problems. It fixed many of them. Lighting is superior. There's multiple different types of lights that all work in unique ways, where this SFM is trying to have one light do everything. Because they can separate it into multiple different types of light, they can specialize and they work much better. And it's 64-bit, so I can have, I think I got it up to like 7,000 or 8,000 megabytes of RAM, or 7 or 8 gigabytes of RAM usage, and it still was running fine. So, I mean, it was definitely slowing down because of the crap I was doing, but it was much more efficient in that regards.
Could Sweetie Belle be having like a tea party?
So I was thinking about having her just lazing out on the couch, like watching TV. Why?
No TV.
So she wanted her to be lonely and having a tea party by herself.
Yes, like children do with their stuffed animals, and maybe one of
But she has
mannequins. Yeah, but they're busy.
And did she come across as the kind of pony that would have a tea party?
Yes.
Sweetie Belle.
Yes. She had lots of stuffed animals, if I recall.
No, I think her being super lazy on a couch kind of fitting too.
She's definitely a tea party pony.
Here,
vote now on your phones.
We're gonna do that as a vote. Where's that? Okay. So Sweetie Belle is you watching TV or having a tea party? You guys can decide what she's doing.
Destroy the mic, yes? What? Oh, it's Syria. Of course. Of course. What specs is your PC to animate like this? Oh no.
What kind of specs do you use
Pandora's box
like this? I'm finally getting around to doing the donut tutorial in Blender because I told myself I wanted to learn like 10 years ago. So when it comes to Blender, specs matter more. This software that I'm using, Source Filmmaker, is older, so specs don't really matter. I was able to run it perfectly fine 6 years ago with the hardware I had then, and since then I've upgraded my graphic card twice. I'm at the point now where the engine itself and how it runs, it has no idea how to utilize the equipment that I have. So its biggest bottlenecks are 32-bit and all this other stuff. Having better hardware helps, but it's not important. But if you're using Blender, I would say the beefier the graphics card, the better. But your processor probably doesn't matter as much. But again, I don't know Blender enough. And if you're just starting out with stuff, it really doesn't matter at all.
I don't know.
Anything will work because you can usually dumb the stuff down to make it work at a lower hardware. You're not trying to make some super fancy Pixar film. You're just trying to learn.
Yeah.
So
really, when it comes to those programs, it just depends on what you're doing. The more you do, the more hardware you'll need.
Okay, so the poll's up. We got a couple more seconds left, and I don't like the fact that having a tea party's winning.
Yeah, because it's adorable, and she got her stuffed animals, and she's like, "How are you doing, Mrs. Peabody?" And she's like, "Would you
But then
like
I have
some more tea?"
So the problem with the tea
very
party
Why?
is the amount of work. It's significantly more.
Why is it more?
Because if I had her on a couch, all I have to do is put her in the position with some ambience, doorbell rings, and she just kind of looks over and gets up. A tea party? I have to have her sitting and interacting.
She doesn't have to interact.
Okay, so how does she sit?
Like a pony sits. You've made ponies sit before.
So I put him on the chair, and does she just stare forward?
She just has the tea levitating in it.
Okay, so for a couple seconds, she's just gonna like look at a teacup and sip from it, and that's it.
It's a tea party.
It's gonna.
Her friends don't move because they're not alive.
See, my problem with that is it's cute, maybe, but this is a stupid video about horses getting hit by tractors.
That's what makes it better. She's being adorable, just like Scootaloo was being adorable.
But that's why my original idea was having her sitting in front of a TV, just lazing about because it's out of character.
Okay, fine, but she has to be scratching her ass if you're gonna do that.
No, because then that's so much more work.
Yeah, but
wait, why did you cannot be in a middle point? You're like, go super cute. Wait, it's gonna be the TV. Then make her horrible.
Picking her nose with her oof. She's really up there. She just wipes it on the couch.
What you would do in animation. That's the reason that I was thinking a TV would be fun is because Scootaloo was just shown doing a Scootaloo thing. And that was supposed to be kind of cute and then weird.
It was very cute.
Following that up immediately by something that is out of character then is awkward and funny and seems out of left field. And then you're starting to get into the weird territory instead of having something that is... Because the tractor was kind of weird, and then you go back to normal, and then you go to weird, and now I was thinking about going still weird, and then doing a wave where you're going up in awkward instead of trying to go all the way back down to normal, because then it feels like a huge contrast.
Okay, I'm feeling you on the couch thing, but she has to like wipe her nose and then rub it on the couch.
Well, originally I was just going to have her with like a bowl of something and like sitting there like Lyra.
Can you cover her in cheese dust?
No, because I'd have to keep her with cheese dust further forward.
It can get knocked off when the tractor hits her.
Have you dealt with cheese dust?
It is hard, but she got hit really bad. I've never been covered in cheese dust and then got hit by a moving vehicle. That scenario is not played.
Wow, that is probably one of the few weird scenarios that you've not been in.
I haven't experienced that one. I had a friend who got hit by a car once. Left a dent in his head. Rest of his life.
Just what they look like?
Yes, sometimes.
Yeah, I think to me the TV thing works better for the pacing of everything because it's a funny little goofy thing temporarily.
As long as she's being disgusting, she can't just be on the couch.
Well, no, I wanted to have her sitting like not just sitting normal, but like Lyra sitting, like ultra lazy, like super laid back or like upside down or something.
But I just want her either rubbing snot on the couch or covered in Cheetos, something.
Post-seizure. Oh, because I think that was the idea behind it. I was looking for that goofy, out of character type shot. Studio was playing Cow Pony. We're playing video games.
I guess video games are canonical, but just barely. That one pony, that one time that she dates.
Ever playing WoW?
Gross.
I know that's why
it's a different kind of
gross. It's disgusting.
That's a different kind of disgusting. That's like we can't be friends anymore. Disgusting.
How many hours do you have in WoW?
I don't even know. I played it for like 3 years straight, and now I hate myself for it. That's nothing compared to some people, though.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Like, I played that game for 3 years, and like went outside after that point. It was like the air. It smells so wonderful. It smells of lemons. It's the first time I smelled air that wasn't like stagnant in my room. First time in 3 years.
How did you get groceries?
No, that's when I was living with parents. I didn't get groceries. Food was free.
Did they bring it to you? Is this like a South Park situation?
It was one of those like Mark food, and it was like my household, so it was pretty much just like chicken nuggets and pizza all the time. So it's pretty much just like.
Well, your health situation seems, let's make so much more sense.
Yeah. Like now we have Dino Nuggies, which is much better.
You last years to WoW. I never got into WoW. I played a lot of different MMOs, but
I can't really get into them anymore. It's too dangerous.
2 of them I played for over a year, but I eventually kind of quit. I love MMOs as long as you have people to play them with, and you're not doing mindless grinding. When I was doing,
it should be the fainting couch. That's the only couch that would be there.
This one.
It should be the red one.
That's Fluttershy's.
That's Fluttershy's sofa. Here you got it.
Oh, it's probably under couch. Yeah, that's the only one that would be there, but I don't know if I would like how its usability. I had to see what it looks like.
Oh, there it is. Oh, there's 2 versions of it. What's the other one? One down.
That's Fluttershy's.
Right there. That's the fainting couch.
Like, it's so simple, though.
No. Yeah, but canonically, it would be there.
Nope.
And it would be funny if she was. It would be even funnier if she's rubbing snot on Rarity's fainting couch. Rarity would not put that in her house.
Yeah, it's fine because it's Sweetie Belle's.
Fine.
No, actually, if it wasn't for MMOs, I probably would not know as a SFM like I do, because one of the MMOs I used to play was I got really into for a while, and I started learning how to do, and at the same time I was also playing Gmod just randomly, and so one of the things I did was somebody ported the original models for some of the stuff from the game, and so I ported those to Gmod, and in doing so I learned a ton about the source engine, which made it so when I jumped into SFM, I skipped ahead because I knew how VMTs worked, I knew how VTFs worked, I knew how the models were structured, how they exported, how they acted, because I did all that stuff. It's playing dolls with the mannequins. Oh, time turner. Oh, derpy. I kind of did a doll thing already, in a way.
What doll thing?
At the end of Lyra Fatale.
Oh, yes.
Now, this is the one thing that's difficult, is I kind of want to have her just being, like, ultra lazy, but the models are not.
Just have her laying on her side. Like, that's all I gotta do. Like, have her laying down.
She's doing squats. She's like 1, 2, 3.
I hate that couch. I just want to.
What's wrong with this couch?
It's ugly. It's sin.
I know, and that's why it's funny. Hey, remember contrast, Michael.
It doesn't belong anywhere in that place.
I know. That's what's funny about it. Rarity is away, so she brought in her favorite couch.
It looks like something my grandparents would have had in their basement.
Basement?
Yes, because it was like.
If that was the case, it'd be covered in plastic.
Oh, it's the basement couch. It's the one the kids play on. They gave up on that couch years ago. Like that, she's doing a dance.
Yay. This is my dance song.
That's all you need. That's your animation right there.
Clean the couch, clean the couch. Become the couch.
Gone. It's like, have you seen Sweetie Belle? Did you check between the cushions? Oh, there she is.
I found a quarter.
This is like, I've been down there for 3 days.
If we're gonna have her like that, then we need a pillow.
Is a pillow.
The reason I thought the sitting like chub would be fun is because I could put a ball next to her. She's laying down. I can't.
You can put it like between her legs.
It would. Yeah, maybe. Have you seen the Cursed Cane? Depends on what you mean by the Cursed Cane. What is MMO? Massively multiplayer online. It's just a role-playing game that is usually with a ton of people, usually within an open world. I think the definition's kind of loose.
I used to dream about games like that when I was a kid, and then when they finally came into existence, I was kind of blown away by them for a while. The first one I ever really got into is Final Fantasy XI. That was my first one. And it was pretty crazy. I did have a bad experience with the first one I ever bought, which was EverQuest, because I didn't know you had to pay extra money to play it after buying it. I was like,
oh yeah, I hate MMOs that are like, this game is $40. Oh, and it's $15 a month.
yeah. That's essentially what happened. Like, for my birthday, my mom took me to the store to pick out a video game, and I saw EverQuest, and I was reading the box and looking at all the box art, and they're like, play online with friends. And it's like, oh, amazing, cool. And
Michael,
so,
how many friends did you have to play with?
I was going to make some.
Oh.
And so I get home, I install it, and I'm all ready to play it. And it's like, enter your credit card number. And it's just like, what? I'm 12?
Well, normally it gives you a month free, though.
I don't think I got that.
No, normally the game itself will come with some free amount.
They want you to have they want that credit card number ahead of time.
They want it in there ahead of time, but normally you'll still get a free month. I've played a bunch of MMOs where I've done that as a trial period when it goes on sale for like $10, get it, and then be like, eh.
Yeah. I just I do vaguely remember my mom taking the game back and like getting Oh, they weren't supposed to, but she threw enough of a fit. That,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go Karen on people, you can get your way.
Karen on people.
Yeah, no, I know how that works. You can do it. Especially in situations like that where, well, it probably said it on the box, but little ignorant Michael probably didn't read the box.
Well, to be fair, no game before that game did that. That was like the first MMO ever. EverQuest was.
No.
That had a monthly subscription?
I bet you it wasn't.
It was definitely the first, like, notable one. EverQuest was like, that was back when I was like 12. Dial-up was still the standard. DSL didn't even exist yet. How it even managed is beyond me. But
not good with laying down positions, so I'm pretty sure this is just going to be like a.
She looks comfy.
It's going to be just a consistent work in progress. Just try to get something that works.
World of Warcraft, and some people would actually. So I was like in a guild or whatever, and people would give me gold so that I would buy them like extra months of World of Warcraft, because that's how some people played World of Warcraft. They didn't necessarily have any money.
I'm pretty sure that's against the terms and conditions of the game.
Well, no, I mean, what?
You're like, no, it isn't. Yeah, it was.
I had friends in the game who I played the game with, who the only way they can continue playing the game was to.
Well, within friends, it's one thing, but if you're making
in the game,
if you're making a business out of it or something,
yeah, I wasn't doing that.
Most of them don't allow you to do like free sale of stuff for real money.
Yeah, I mean, there was just a couple people I played the game with that were like, "Hey, same deal as last month." I'm like, "Sure." I had my McDonald's cash. I was rich. My McDonald's money living with my parents.
And when you're living with your parents, um, yeah, money is a lot easier to come by, but then you realize how expensive the world is once you're gone from them. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I just have to pay rent. No, no, there's a lot. You have to cook now.
No, I just always hit up the food pantry for a while. There was a point in my life where I hit up food pantries to eat.
Why?
All my money went to rent. I had no money for food.
Oh, I thought you meant when you were at your parents.
No, not when I was with my parents. This was like college.
I was gonna say that seems like you were taking advantage of the food pantry, but if you're on your own, then
I
yes,
was
okay.
legit. Like I was working part time at Kroger's, trying to go to school. I had just enough money for rent and no money for food.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was rough. There were times where I just went through the day with like a 3 liter of Kroger's brand soda pop that I got a discount on after rummaging through my car for whatever change might have fallen loose from my pocket so that I could sustain myself on just like sugar. Good times.
I've luckily never been in that type of situation. I stayed with my I stayed with my parents for a while, and then I ended up selling my. I saved up a lot of money, bought a sportsy car, and then like a year and a half later sold it and and I almost had it paid off in that time. And because I was going to school at a really cheap community college part time, so I was able to pay it off as I went and save because I was working a full-time decent paid job at a pretty young age. It just had no future, so it was good pay for the age, but in 5 years it was going to be like, yeah, okay, that's great, but what the hell are you doing with your life, because you're going to be stuck here getting shit pay. So
I'll tell you the most interesting job I had for multiple reasons was that pizzeria where I worked for the WWE wrestler, because I never knew in the entire time I worked there that how much money I was making. They never told me.
you didn't math it out?
Nope, because he didn't math it out. Every like week, he would be like, "So how much money do you think you made this week?" And I don't know, man. That's up to you. And he would just kind of write me out a check.
Yeah, that sounds like somebody taking advantage. You never tell your employer, just pay me whatever you want.
Well, because he didn't really have a concept of what normal people made, because he worked most of his life like for celebrities and stuff as a bodyguard, and his wife was a WWE wrestler. I would work like, I don't know, 20 hours one week, and he would pay me like $2,000 at a pizza. It was crazy.
Oh,
It was,
so you made pretty good money for while you were there.
yeah, like it wasn't super long, but because the guy like just like didn't really like have a firm grasp on what normal people made for their time.
No, I can understand that. It's life is based on what you know, and at that point, it's what you think is normal is skewed.
Yeah, and his worldview was definitely skewed on that. But it worked for me, and I didn't fight it.
No, I understand that. I don't even have to do that. No, $100 an hour for pizza.
Yeah.
Hey, if you can get away with it, get away with it. I can't. This is the old model, so I can't even.
Why
normally,
are you using the old model?
because this is the only one that has the chunky.
It's
pony.
cute.
So because this normally I would want to adjust the jaw out a little bit and twist the nose and bring the eye, like twist it so that it has more on this side, but I'm probably just gonna have to sit with it as it is.
It was one of those situations where the guy was only even started the pizzeria because his wife made a lot more money and he wanted to start bringing money in. So he took a bunch of his wife's money and opened up a restaurant. Crazy time in my life is what that was.
Gotta be a better TV than that. I do not want a flat panel.
You need an old, crappy
Yeah.
TV. Yeah.
I'm just looking for something that has a better backside. That's not bad.
That's like the TV I would have had when I was younger.
This one,
you need something older. Like, oh, I like that one.
Like this one?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Like the old rabbit ears. That's something my grandparents would have had when they were like young.
Do you ever have those moments where they're like, go and move the antennas, and then you move it, and they're like, okay, now stand there.
Oh yeah, because they worked way better if you were holding them. Like as soon as you let go,
Because you were the TV antenna.
Yeah, that was that's something kids will never understand. Back in my day, but seriously, like those old antennas worked basically in a way in which if you were touching them, you became part of the antenna.
Well, that's where anything like that works.
Yeah. So the second you let go, you might lose the picture. So you would just be standing there trying to watch TV, holding the antenna so that you could see clearly. It was a magical time.
I might need to go to a non-lit map. Because as of right now, if I use it as it is, I can light the TV, but it would be lighting her more than things are right now. I think I'm gonna have to swap to avoid, because then I can decrease the overall brightness in the maps ever so slightly. Also, as a heads up, so next week, streams are as normal, but I'm thinking I might do a Thursday stream. Because it's my birthday, so I'm thinking about streaming them on Thursday, just doing some whatever. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I do want to do it.
If that is the case, then I have to think.
I was probably just going to do a game of some sort, and I think I might just kind of do whatever the hell I want to do, because it's my birthday, I don't care. So
not an animation stream?
No, probably won't be an animation. Friday will still be an animation thing. I thought about streaming more on Friday, but then my parents wanted to take me to lunch on Friday, so I'm just going to go do that.
You off work next Friday?
Yeah, I'm planning on it. I hated those antennas. Kids were considered as remote control or antenna adjusters. Yep.
That's why children are born, so that they can hold the... No,
they were born to work the fields.
Yes, and then to hold the antenna. What do kids exist for today? Like, I'm not sure. I haven't.
To fund Twitter and Facebook.
They're not working the fields or holding the antenna. Then what are they?
Because their parents love them, or some shit.
They do that for.
I don't know. Apparently, biologically, we're supposed to want that or something. Michael,
what?
Isn't that something you talked about? Like, I want a kid someday.
I need somebody to like
give all my money.
Yes. No, it would be nice to like, because like, I'm gonna die someday, right? It'd be nice to have somebody to give my stuff to that like I helped like cultivate.
It's a satisfying feeling until you're dead, but at that point, then nothing matters. So,
sure, but it'd be nice if something I did was left behind.
Yeah, it is. Just go somewhere, take a big dupe there, and nobody else knows it's there. There forever.
I don't think that's how dupes work.
You know how, like, on the moon, all the footsteps stay?
See, if I could take a poop on the moon.
Take a poop on the moon. That's what you got to do, Michael.
See, that would be amazing.
See, you know, because they're going to do it like when we eventually go to the moon to make colonies, they're going to have like this whole thing's like you can't go near like the old Apollo sites because, you know, you can't disturb the footprints or anything. It's got to all stay forever. But if you had a Duke up there, they'd have that thing with a velvet rope.
Yeah, they would. Like, if, like, moon people 100 years from now found that poop, they'd be like, does this This ancient poop from prehistoric
Okay,
poop man.
I have some problems with that statement. For one, they wouldn't even know what the fuck a poop is. They would just
Why?
look at it and see it's some kind of organic material, but they'd have no idea it's a defecation. Because defecation is something that we as a species do, but they might have something completely different.
The moon people could be humans.
The moon? Why would the moon people be humans?
Because humans migrated to the moon and became moon people.
Have you ever? What was that movie that? It was where the Nazis were on the moon.
There's been a couple, I think. There's been like a couple versions of that. I know
It's Iron
Wolfenstein
something.
had moon bases.
Iron Sky
Iron Sky.
from 2012. You ever seen this?
I have not.
It is. I don't know if it's satirical or not.
So is it the premise that the Nazis just fled to the moon or something?
Yeah, like this is a Nazi moon base.
Oh, that is so corny.
I know. This is I think
it's a dinosaur.
No, that's something else. No, this is the official poster for it. It is really, really bad.
It looks bad.
But I'm pretty sure it's made to be that way.
Well, yeah, it's satirical for sure.
Yeah,
it's
it's
no way that's gonna take its whole
but it tries to look serious. So it's one of those that gets caught in the middle ground where you're like, are you being serious? And by the end of the movie, you're like, no. But
if it was being serious, I don't think it would be as good a movie.
It was pretty self-referential, but it was funny. I think it was a pretty decent movie. Iron Sky was a great B movie. Yes, but so if you're doing a B movie and you're trying to make it look like a AAA movie, it's hard to do that right. They were a B movie doing what B movies do. And that is sometimes what makes B movies better than AAA movies. AAA movies are, I want to see a spectacle. B movies are, I want to see something that just makes me laugh. I want to see something that's serious, but in doing so is not serious. And so, yeah.
If anybody's ever making a B movie, don't be serious because it won't be good.
Or your Seinfeld.
Yes.
Actually, I think that was brought up on the podcast. We were talking about
I've seen that
B-movie
movie like 3 times, so I can't.
B movie?
Yeah. Like, it's hard not to have seen it.
No, we were on the most recent episode of the podcast. We actually had a little bit of a conversation about the B movie.
My favorite thing about B movie isn't even the movie; it's the promo for the movie, where it just has Steven Spielberg, trying to make the B movie, but it's all live action, and it just has Jerry Seinfeld in a bee costume.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Amazing.
To me, that's Jerry Seinfeld saying, I know what the jokes are going to be, and I'm going to get to them first.
Yeah.
So then that's fine. I think that's hilarious.
There's just this whole line where Jerry Seinfeld's just hanging from the ceiling by rope, dressed up as a bee, while Steven Spielberg is just sitting there like, we made the original E.T. with just some chicken wire and some Play-Doh. And Jerry Seinfeld's just like, I'm really happy for your success, but I just don't think this is gonna work. It's like the best thing to come out of that entire movie. Just the conversation between the two of them.
I think that something like this should have kind of flat moments where it's not really changing too much. I'm gonna try to flatten it out a little bit.
Army of Darkness. They had a budget by the time they made Army of Darkness.
But Army of Darkness was a B movie that I don't know if it was even made to be a B movie. It was
spawned from a B movie.
It was a movie that tried to do one thing, failed at it, but ended up being pretty decent at something else. And so instead of just looking at their failure and saying like, "Oh, well that sucks. Well, I guess we'll move on." No, they said, well, it didn't work out that way. Let's go this way instead. Yes. And it worked out perfectly. Instead of making horror, they made comedy, and it was gold.
I would say the first Evil Dead was a B movie for sure that was funnier than it intended itself to be.
Yeah, I know. I've watched the first one. It definitely was like It definitely was trying to be horror,
Yeah.
but it had a certain style to it that made it funny.
Yeah.
And I think that style is what worked.
Yeah.
And then after that, the second movie, they
second
tried to do a
movie.
mix. And then they said, yeah, we're going to go full comedy. And then Evil Dead was not horror at all.
Not anymore.
Or Army of Darkness
Army
was
of
not
Darkness
horror
wasn't, yeah.
at all. There was nothing scary about the movie, but the comedy, it made it a classic.
Yeah.
It was so
My
good.
favorite one is still number 2. Like, most people say Army of Darkness is their favorite one, but I just love the second one because it is essentially the one that creates the character of Ash. That is where his character becomes Ash. And,
the first movie was
he was just a guy.
He was popular because he survived.
Yeah,
that was really his big thing. The Evil Dead TV show is amazing until it was canceled. I have not watched the TV show, but I have heard good things.
It ran for 3 seasons, and I've seen half of it, and it was really good.
One of the games I'd actually considered potentially playing on stream was it was on a big sale right now.
Is it like an Evil Dead game?
No, but it's they utilize a lot of that. Unless the sale. Oh, here it is. Dead by Daylight.
Oh, is that Pinhead?
So, Dead by Daylight is a game that can I just? I guess I can't jump to it from here.
$4.40.
What it is? It's a game where it's 4v1, and where it's 4 survivors trying to get through, but one person's hunting them. And but the big thing about it is there's a ton of DLCs for it, to where they add like some Saw characters, some Among Us, but it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get Jason in there, Pinhead, Freddy, and I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. But it's ends up being that it's a horror game, but everybody's third person survival, but then one person is first person, and you are the job is to catch everybody else.
It could be fun with a group.
Just playing multiplayer or for whatever. No, but I think for stream that could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm not a horror fan, but right now I mentioned that because there's a big sale going on right now.
Yeah, like super cheap right now.
It's half off. The problem with the game is DLCs, because everything is split up. But the fact that they got licensing for all these big characters is kind of neat. Leatherface, Jason,
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy. They even have one for Stranger Things, the Beast from Stranger Things too.
I've never seen Stranger Things.
So no, it's cool in terms of licensing, and you can play as Ash if you want. He's a separate DLC, but they have a full Ash you can actually play as. So
he would be invincible.
Dead by Daylight, I don't play it myself, but I have a friend who was obsessed with it for a while. I think that on its own, it would be. I'm not a fan of that genre, but playing it with that group when it's 4v1, but you know all 5 people and nobody has played it before, so everybody's on the same base. Because I feel like if one person knows what they're doing, we're gonna make it super easy from either side. So I think that could be just kind of fun. Because I think from a stream's perspective, watching the survivors is interesting when things happen. And then it's also playing from the other perspective would also be interesting. So I think that would be fun.
Oh, we should all get the base game and just start there.
Because right now it's half off on Green Man for when you have gold discount.
Yeah.
So I thought about it. I thought I already owned it, but apparently I didn't.
I almost still kind of want to finish that other game, but...
Which game?
No, Magica.
Yeah, but we're not going to do that on stream because there's not that much left of the game.
Well, I was thinking about the Vietnam thing too.
Yeah, that'll be probably a future thing.
I can ever get it not to be broken. The game was so broken, which is super unfortunate because it's a good game.
Yeah, it's a good. Well, no, the game works fine on single player.
Yeah.
it doesn't work so well on
Multiplayer.
multiplayer.
Real unfortunate.
I think I need to have this be a little brighter. Because if I have it too dim, it's not going to look like daytime. It's going to look like they found you, Michael. They found you, Michael.
They're coming to get me.
Oh, actually, that's
take me to the hospital. It's like there's a very sick man in there. I'm not going. You can't take me.
The one thing I need to test too now. Apparently, hello, Spider Kid. NVIDIA broadcast updated. So I had a problem before on stream where if things went too high pitched or too loud at a sudden moment, NVIDIA broadcast or NVIDIA or RTX voice would cut the voice out and it would get kind of like spotty. Supposedly the most recent update actually fixed that, so it should not do that anymore. And that was a problem I was having. So I need to play around with that a little bit just to see. But that was my biggest problem with RTX voice, and supposedly they fixed it. So she's sneaking a look, Michael.
I have to admit that laying pose on the couch is pretty cute.
It turned out actually better than I thought it would be. I haven't actually put the tail in position, though, now that I think about it.
I have it draped over her leg.
Because it can't, well, to me, the couch would be in the way, so it would be like this.
No, it's super cute. You said you didn't want to do cute, and then you did cute.
Well, because I wanted her to sit, like, ultra lazy. But I like the idea of her watching TV when there's, like, as far as I know, no TV in Equestria.
I mean, they kind of like there shouldn't be.
Are you looking forward to G5 in a week or so? Yes. I haven't actually. Well, yeah, me, Michael. I really haven't cared too much on show stuff for a while. Mainly because it's
he just reads fan fiction.
No, the fandom stuff I care about more now than what the show produces.
But I do believe we are planning to watch it next weekend as a group. So I did confirm that I will. I can go to the thing. So yeah. Looking forward to that. And I'd very much prefer to watch it as a group just because, I mean, it's kind of the thing that brought us all together at the end of the day. So,
well, actually, like when we watched the first MLP movie, not the first, one of the last ones, the one that had not the movie, but the one that came
Rainbow Road Trip.
Yeah, Rainbow Road Trip. That one we watched as a group, and that was pretty fun as a group because it was like Minnesota poems and stuff.
Oh yeah. This is so good.
So because of that, it ended up being fun. But I don't watch it on my own. I definitely very much enjoy it as a group thing. That's why a lot of the horse stuff I've actually watched has been at conventions because that's the time where a bunch of people are together just watching some stupid shit. So
yeah, I mean, I've seen every episode of the show, but I don't like. I haven't gone and watched the episodes over and over and over again. Like, I don't think I've watched an episode since the show ended. I might have watched one, I think, at some point or another, but just as like I'm really, really, really bored, and this will put a smile on my face for nostalgic reasons. But yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to G5 just because it's new content. I'm looking forward to new content. That said, I haven't finished watching Pony Life, but it's not good. So,
but it's horse content.
It is horse content. And I might watch it at some point.
Not much, Spider Kid. How you doing?
You want another drink? Still got 45 minutes.
Sure.
Cool.
I'm doing pretty good. I watched Pony Life. I haven't either. I've seen some of the pictures, and actually I still have like the best picture. Like, I was working on podcast stuff earlier. I was working. I was trying to find pictures for the starting picture, and I was trying to find pictures of John. The joke with the podcast pictures is I actually want to have pictures of John constantly drinking, mainly because his mustache is really hard to mask out. So I just thought with that in his face, Michael face, Kyle. Anyway, where's the one picture though? Pony Life. Best picture from Pony Life. And if you don't have where's the derpy? What is this called? If you don't have Snagit, get Snagit. It's pretty awesome. I figured out I can get it at work, but I have to charge it to my department, and I don't want to ask for permission. Where are the pictures? I must have passed it. Can't be that old. Apparently it is. I can't go back that far. Well, anyways, we do have. Oh no, there it is. I found it. There it is. That's the good picture. That's kind of what I was thinking about doing for a pose. But the legs here are much, much smaller, and I wouldn't be able to get similar like that on Squeedy. So, but this is the best Rainbow Dash ever. Look, she's so happy. She's eating her chips. And she's so drunk. So I want to watch whatever episode that's from. Chunky Rainbow Dash is the best Rainbow Dash. Okay, so oh, the other thing too, main 3, no, TV light. But no, for those that actually do come to the game streams, then do you think that Dead by Daylight would be something that you think would be fun to watch? I see it there being a lot of chaos, and that's to me the best part about stream stuff or streaming. It's one thing to just watch a game be played, but when you have a lot of people like that, I think it's more fun to see when things go wrong. This one is not. Thank you very much. Okay, yes, a bunch of newbies yelling at each other is great. No, to me, that's one of the things with there's been a couple of rules before I get started with anybody playing games on stream, and one of them is if it's going to be a long game that you're available on the Sundays we're going to play, and but the other one is you won't play ahead or we don't know the game, because half the experience is everybody experiencing it at the same time. And I like the idea of everybody kind of learning as we go. I think that's super fun, and watching newbies play and learn a game to me is pretty entertaining, especially if you know the game. Just want a little bit of light coming from the edge of the TV there. There. It's very minor, but without that, it just made a black edge, and that didn't seem realistic. This just creates that extra glow. And I actually wouldn't even consider like a light glow. It kind of looks like a bloom or something. Kiss is always good with friends. Yes, that's some of my favorite moments in Valheim and Fallout 76 were when things went wrong. When we're playing a serious game and we're trying to do things legitimately, chaos may not be good, but normally with the people we play with, even then, it doesn't matter. It's just about having fun. When you've tried 100 times and you're still failing, okay, then you're going to get a little bit of the frustration that kicks in, but normally that's not how we play on most things.
I think my favorite thing in the games is to try to break the game. Like, find some way to glitch it out or mess something up.
I would say not that. It's taking advantage of what you have to do the things you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not just about glitching, but it's a legitimate rule. But now F it and doing something else.
I think Sea of Thieves was a lot of fun for that because at least the last time we played, I found
The
a
banana.
lot of, yes, the banana, setting somebody's boat on fire with the banana, the hook getting glitched out because I shot it right before we went to the portal and it was like halfway across the world.
Yeah, no, that's
Stuff
because
like that.
that's when things don't work out the way they're supposed to. No, that's what I love about that stuff, and that's why there's been games I've been thinking about us playing, but they're not games that have much of that chaos, and so it's been kind of like,
I still wouldn't mind doing a Synergy. That's glitchy.
yeah,
as all heck.
that is at some point, but that's going to be a game where I have to get people knowing about it ahead of time.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the things I like about this game because it's 5 people, not 4. And normally we always run into the issue we always have 5 people, so I like that idea. Shooty Cats game. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Nolan. I feel that can be interesting to watch, but it depends. Like I always think it's not, but then like Satisfactory is a game that I think would be super boring, but then there was a moment where I was streaming on Discord and I was doing it for days and days, just doing this like super boring stuff to me. And then I was doing something else one day and somebody asked me like, are you going to ever stream like Satisfactory again? Because like it was super chill just watching you build things. I'm like, like that was super boring. I thought Sunday streams, I do want to do something that's a little bit more like chaos and multiplayer stuff. I thought about streaming other days stuff, but it's just time. I don't want to.
We're already streaming a lot.
Well, I don't want to take up time that I could be working on this stuff. I should be prioritizing animation more than I am right now. But I've been waiting for other things to get to a good point. Podcast, I feel now is at a point where it's like a day and a half every 2 weeks of work. Well, and a full evening of us recording, so 2.5
I mean, we're
days.
doing it 2 weeks in a row right now, but
Yeah, because I had 3 weeks off.
yeah, and I was like preoccupied one week.
Yeah, no, it's because of that we're doing that, and and that's why we have the time gap built in. Yes, Synergy. Yes, thank you for the bits, Nolan. Yeah, we talked about that. I played that game a while ago with friends, and the chaos of it was pretty fun.
Sunset. I would love to play 7 Days to Die, but
He knows the game.
I know that
well.
I know the game really, really well because I used to play it a ton. And what I know about the game is the best way to play it as a group is essentially everybody would go off and do their own thing during the day and then reconvene at a base during the night. Which
and that can kind of work.
yeah.
But again, it so well that there's no way that you could play from the perspective that does somebody that doesn't.
Yeah, and they're like I could, but I couldn't. I could fake it, but then I would be like, we really should be doing this. We're gonna die.
Unless it's like a roguelite though, is the whole purpose of that is you're always going to die pretty quick on a lot of runs, but then you're going to start getting better and your runs are going to last longer and longer and longer.
Yeah.
So that's the whole roguelite works.
7 Days to Die is an amazing game to watch other people play.
When you know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. If you don't know what you're supposed to do, it can be fun to watch too. It just won't go very long. It's 7 Days to Die is a game that has moments that are separated by a lot of like slog too. So a lot of like repetitive stuff over and over and over again.
I don't actually mind that though. It's like I was playing what was that game?
I mean, we could play it sometime.
Tribes of Midgard.
Run out of any.
I was playing Tribes of Midgard for a while, and that game is basically every time you start it's the same thing, but it's all randomized. But there's so many different ways you could potentially play. I just haven't done that. It's just super hard solo, so I've never actually beat it yet. But it's very monotonous every time. But because everything also feels very different, it's the exploration aspect, and like you're trying to hit all these little check boxes, but like in one playthrough you might not be able to hit one of those quite as easily because of the way these things are set up. And so yeah, I kind of like that where it's might feel like a slog, but at the same time it doesn't require as much thinking. You can kind of just hit a button and do your thing and go about your day.
No, 7 Days to Die. You saying talk about the game changes in 7 Days to Die? It's actually one of the game changes with each iteration that created one of my favorite moments when suicider zombies were added, and we weren't expecting them, and there were tears, and it made for a good deal of fun.
She like her construction sounds to relax and study too. Yeah. We actually had an idea originally for a satisfactory thing. The setup would be, I think, the hardest part. But we wanted to play Satisfactory, and it's a building game, kind of like Factorio, where you gather materials, you go unlock more tiers, and you go up to another higher and higher tiers. But the idea was that we wanted to have 4 people playing and have everybody start on 4 separate corners of the map or in 4 separate locations that are not connected, and have it where you have item restrictions to where the things that you can mine are specialized, probably better to your area than other areas. But other than that, you cannot gather a specific material that other people are, like, say somebody's primary material is iron or something. I can't remember the materials from that game from in a while, but you are not allowed to do that. They have to. So their job is to get as much of it as possible, and they have to use their own, but they also have to distribute it and have a train that runs in multiple trains that run in a full circle around the entire map. So you're reliant on other people to mine the things that you're looking for, but
that would drive me insane.
But then because it's in a circle that you put in a ton of one material, the next person could be an ass and take extra of some type of material because they need it. And now by the time it comes around to the one person right before that one, they might not get any. But now since they aren't getting anything, they could just put in sanctions and start not sending more of their materials until they get some of what they need. And I think that the politics of that could be kind of interesting.
Pretty sure it would end with us all killing each other.
The hardest part about that, though, is setting up a train that would run the whole thing. Yeah. Because how do you do that on a new map? So there's ways to do it, but it would take a long time to do.
I like the idea of letting everybody mine everything, but only being allowed to provide certain items to the space elevator.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be kind of in the same way for that.
Yeah. But that would be easier to manage.
So my games, my big ones I'm looking forward to next year, I keep my wish list stocked because I like keeping track of everything because it emails me. Darktide for sure. That's just Vermintide, but with 40K. Super looking forward to that. Spring 2022, so like in the next 6 months. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, also looking forward to. Borderlands is great games. I'm probably still looking Darktide more, but we're thinking about playing New World, but it comes out in like 11 days. And
it's the first I've heard of it. New
World? It's an MMO.
Oof.
It's like Valheim Final Fantasy World MMO.
It's just the time sinks that MMOs can be.
It's a very different type, and so we thought about playing some New World. Halo Infinite, I'm super looking forward to as well. Endless Dungeon was also one that I thought would be super, super fun. But those are the ones that are coming out soon. After that, I'm getting to the ones that are actually out. And
keep talking about It Takes Two.
Yeah, I wanted to play It Takes Two with me and Michael. But I want to get it where we're on the couch, and I just haven't figured out the logistics of it, and I'm waiting for it to go on a decent sale. But it's a 2-person like split screen game that we can do on the couch, and where we can just see how much we can fuck with each other while playing it.
My favorite.
Nothing's on sale right now, but
Baldur's Gate. That's the one I'm waiting on.
That's lower on my list just because right now it's in early access. So people look at my wish list and I don't want them thinking like I can get on Baldur's Gate. No, I put it way low on my list because with the early access, we do want to do that. And we're probably going to stream that one. Yeah, because we had some great moments on Divinity and it's the same creator.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Some of these other ones Chronicon is just a roguelites. Time Spinner is this is my type of game. The Room is just a puzzle, but for VR. I like puzzle VRs.
I just imagining like The Room VR, and you're just like, "Oh, hi, Mark," and you're Mark in VR. It's like they're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Well, yeah, and just a couple of games on here. I just keep it on list. So if I'm looking for something to play, and just have some fun with on the side. Oh, and I'm looking for something new, I'll just grab from this list and whatever. But I have a super long list of someday games to play anyway. What's Space Engine? Well, I already closed that.
Oh,
Here.
this looks comfy.
Oops, go back. Can't remember. I put it on here at some point. It's lower on my list because that.
Like showing everybody your wish list.
Oh, it's public on my profile.
Yeah.
Because I always have people before that were like, I want to buy you a game. What do I get you? Or they'll just pick something randomly. And I'm like, well, that's why I do the wish list. So then at least, like, if they're going to, I want to make sure that they can pick from such. If I remember right, it's a game that lets you tweak all the different settings in the universe. And so you can see, like, what if the Earth had 10 times its mass, what would happen? And if this happened, and you can simulate a bunch of stuff. I don't know how much I would play it, but it just seemed really neat. So it's one of those that if something goes on super sale, I would pick up. Or if I'm just looking for something like that at the time. But it just looks pretty cool because you can pretty neat such.
Buy you your favorite game. Monopoly.
No, I hate Monopoly. Maybe someone could start a trucking company in that game, or you get to pay for their services and they ship the material around the map. But you're playing with other people, so, and now they have the drones and stuff too. So no, it was an idea we had, but we do want to get back to that game. But I think we're gonna wait for like update 5 before we jump into it again, because we played it on update 2. And update 3 and 4 have come out since then, and they've had a lot of cool stuff, but we're not quite what we're looking for. So we're at least waiting for maybe the next one to come out. Next one's supposed to have a huge engine update too. I think it's actually happening in a week. Earth had 10 times the mass. We'd attract all the derpies.
We need to work on that. We need to create derpy teams.
New World is making breaking graphics cards a little bit ago, so I'd proceed with caution. The game wasn't doing it. It was the graphics cards that were doing that. The graphics cards should have a limit set up to prevent certain things from happening. So the game could be partially at fault, but the majority of what happened, I think it was the EVGA cards, was they weren't properly limiting how much processing was going through on menus. And so they were hitting thousands of frames processed, and they were processing them, and it burned them out. And so that was a limitation that should have been on the graphics card. As far as I know, that's been fixed. And the big thing was frame rate limiting. But I already have it set up on my computer where
I need to do that on mine.
I have right here. I have it's set up where my computer cannot process any more than 120 frames at a time. At that point, I'm in my 30s. I'm not going to freaking notice anything above 120. My monitor can hit 144. I used to have this at 140, but I've set it to 120 because I'd rather have. If I set it at 140, the graphics card's running harder and hotter, and that can run into more inconsistent frame rates. So I'm going to the frame rate of where I can notice the difference and limiting it to that, so that I'm not getting overheated and having inconsistency. So yeah, because of that, I shouldn't have any problem. I'm hardware limited to no more than 120.
No one's telling me New World's a trap.
It is. That's what MMOs are great for.
MMOs are kind of traps. I played City of Heroes, Guild Wars 2.
Guild Wars 2 is great.
Yeah. World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 11. There was another one. I played a lot of MMOs. They all were huge time sinks. Like there are games that are time sinks, but there aren't a lot of games that are time sinks and like second jobs, or you just never finish them.
Well, that's why, like, to me,
Divinity wasn't too bad,
but Divinity wasn't an MMO.
Yeah, well, it kind of was. It
was a multiplayer game, but it wasn't massively multiplayer.
I think the difference was you could finish it in a reasonable time.
Well, Divinity had a story, and it was done, and you're done.
Yeah.
Where if you're playing an MMO, normally there is no end. It's supposed to have an end game. Divinity didn't have an end game. You beat the game, you're done.
I mean, World of Warcraft had an end, but getting there was so difficult.
It's no, MMOs to me are the games in which you're not, if you want to play with other people, you're not, you might join a party, but you're not going into an instance, you're not in an instance all the time. There's usually some kind of an open world element where you can see everybody at all times, even if it's a city at some point. Have you heard of Mabinogi? Yeah, Mabinogi. I have not played it, but I've known people that have played it. That's not my thing. I like getting into MMOs when they first come out, because when it first comes out, there's no meta. There's nobody saying like, "Oh, don't get that. That's a waste of time," and or nobody min-maxing to such a degree that like there's only these like hairstring paths to follow. It's everybody doing everything. There's chaos in doing it, and nobody cares. Early areas are jam packed and feel legit, while late game MMOs or like aging MMOs are about the early areas being devoid of anything and being pushed to the end game. That to me isn't fun anymore. Ion was a game that I played when it first came out. Like I actually played in the open beta for Ion. The game's not been out now for 10 years and it's still running, but all the content now is to rush you to endgame. You skip past all this super cool stuff they made because they're just getting you to this other stuff they made. And it just felt stupid when I went back to touch it now. So is there a lot of stuff there? Yeah, but it's surviving because there's just so many people that have played it for so long. So yeah, I don't want to be in any game that has been at that point. I want to be in the games where everybody's learning. I think that's super fun.
That was the hard thing about Final Fantasy XI when I played it first, because by the time it came out in the US, it had already been out in Japan for a year. So, and everybody was playing on the same servers. So pretty much everything had already been figured out by the time like the American audience was even able to touch it.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. That's with New World. That's thankfully not kind of the thing, because there's been some people that played the betas for sure, but I felt like the betas, like if I were to pre-order it, it would have been, yeah, I can play the beta, but then I get to stop playing it. But now I know the game and I have to start over again. And I did that with Ion, and I'm not going to know my photo bucket, but I have a picture from it when I was playing Ion in the open beta. Then when they were closing the servers, they were going to nuke everybody's accounts, and so they loaded a ferret that was holding a giant box full of explosives, and it was the admins, like the server, like the game owners that were holding it, and they're like, "We're going to blow everything up now," and so we all just like crowded around this guy. And then when the clock struck midnight or whatever, the explosives blew up. Everybody on the server died at the exact same time, but then like the admins were still alive and they just started dancing around like ha ha, and then as everybody's dead and they can't respawn, and then they shut down the servers. It was so fun. It was such good times.
One heck of a way to kill a game.
It was that was just the open beta, so like that was because they were releasing in a week or so. But no, that was, I have a picture of me standing in front during open beta for that game of the guy holding the giant explosive box. I still have a picture in my photo bucket.
It's pretty great. Memories.
Yeah.
Why is she sitting upright?
Because the doorbell would have rung.
All right. All right, I like that joke.
The what?
The joke.
Yeah, that was the whole point of doing this.
He's cute. Don't say this enough, but Belle is a.
She's fluff.
So yeah, the CMC, Scootaloo's the cool one.
Scootaloo's the best.
Yes, she is. She's the best one. And Sweetie Belle's got like the cuteness factor going for
Sweetie
her.
Belle is number 2.
Yeah,
and then Apple Bloom is
she's a distant
whatever she no. Scootaloo is number Scootaloo is number 1. Sweetie Belle's number 2. Apple Bloom is last.
Yeah.
I'm not saying number 3.
Just last.
Just last.
I don't have another CMC is added. Apple Bloom will just be pushed further back.
Well, yeah, there's like the Gabby.
Yeah,
Gabby's
cool.
pretty cool.
She's pretty cool.
I don't know. Apple Bloom, I just didn't.
She's
like
boring.
very well, but it's because her family's boring.
No.
Well, not boring, just ordinary. And maybe that's...
She's ordinary.
And so that's not her fault.
That's what you get by being born to a family of apple farmers.
She wanted to do with the cherries, was it? No. What was the one she bought in the market?
She bought
pears.
Pear butter.
Pear butter. That was it.
Like Sweetie Belle's future was like not decided for her either. She could have done anything. Same for Scootaloo.
Apple Bloom's like, you could be anything you want, but you got to do this.
You'll be anything you want, like an apple farmer, or a scientist, or an apple farmer, or maybe I could be like an inventor, or an apple farmer. Go kick apples.
I mean, you can do anything you want, but
as long as
the farm's gonna be lonely, and there's nobody that's gonna run it, and I guess we're gonna have to sell it, and all this legacy is gonna go away forever. Do you want that, Apple Bloom? If it's fine if you do, we're not gonna cry a lot.
Yeah. Sure, go off to college, Apple Bloom. It'll only kill your grandmother.
Well, actually, I would think that Apple Bloom would have be probably the one that has the choice. Applejack doesn't, but it seems like she enjoys it, so it's fine.
Yeah, she's happy kicking trees.
You ever play No Man's Sky? I did when it first came out, and that was when the game was rough. I've heard it's in a much better place now. I tried going back to play it. The early game felt very much the same. I've wanted to go back and play it more because as far as I know now, it's where it should have been when it came out, if not well past that now. So I do own it, but I just haven't went back to play it again. What happens is they were spiking when they opened menus for some reason, using like 300 FPS and even more. It was only for a second if users open and close menus fast enough, and it would kill the card. Yeah, and as far as I know, that was EVGA cards. That was the problem. Problem is, I have an EVGA 3080. So I have exactly the card that would have been a problem with it. Thankfully, I didn't play it because I'm not into playing beta for stuff and that stuff. Day. And it's fixed now. But even then, I had the frame rate limiter, so it wouldn't have really been a problem. What about Babsy? Babsy's pretty fun.
She's fine.
I mean, she's better than Bloom Apple.
Yes.
Looks like being boring runs in the Apple family. No, I think the one problem with Applejack was always that
she was always happy with where she was.
Every other character had
progression.
Yeah, there was some kind of progression. They had a direction they wanted in life, but Applejack always felt like she was always where she needed to be, and the problems that were developed were kind of forced on her. And it felt like it just didn't feel as natural for some of the stuff, and a lot of the pros are brought up almost made fun of her instead. And so she was a more developed character, but she was a simpler character. Therefore, her development didn't need to be overly complex.
Yeah. She was happy with where she was in her life at the start of the show, whereas everybody else was trying to achieve something. Rainbow Dash wanted to be a Wonderbolt. Rarity wanted to expand her boutiques. Twilight was always achieving more and more for Celestia. Pinkie Pie eventually got to the point where she wanted to expand her horizons.
What?
Well, I mean, she got
she became a ballet dancer or something.
Well, it was the whole thing with that episode that she did with Cheese Sandwich, where she was trying to figure out what she wanted to do. And even in that episode, she kind of made fun of Applejack. It's like, you got that hat.
But Applejack doesn't care because
she doesn't care.
To me, if she's where she wants to be, and if somebody's saying like Applejack, you could be so much more. But who cares? You're where you want to be. So screw what everybody says.
She's always been the straight man character, which is important.
I want to say this. She's the most developed character, even if it meant that she's a developed character that only had fewer steps than other people to reach where she needed to be.
Yeah.
But that just made it so her dedicated episodes were not very good. Well, anybody else's dedicated episodes to me were better because their character just better fit it.
Yeah. But she didn't really have anywhere to go. She didn't want to go anywhere. She was a good character. She was probably actually my second favorite character.
No, she was a fun character for sure. It just, I don't feel like, I feel like her character, as it was originally written, made development of the character difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So they did what they could with it, but it was just, what do you do with it? Don't worry about lighting stuff right now. Okay, so she's gonna be like not. She's gonna be like watching TV. This is probably a little long for that shot. We're gonna shorten.
Really,
that.
you can just put like a bowl of food on the floor or something. Chips. She's a unicorn. She can just levitate them out.
Like that's one thing I've been actually wanting to get. Is I wanted to get a cup holder here.
Like you get attached to the desk.
To attach to the desk, which it was funny because I guess IKEA is going to be selling gamer stuff now, and it was super cheap and stupid.
Market for it.
But the one thing they did have was they were going to be selling a cup holder attached to a desk. There are some that exist, but I haven't liked them. Like this. There's no way I'm fitting that in a freaking cup holder.
No. I think cup holders were invented in the shape of tables.
Well, they're invented for like non-handled. Reminder to raid mid-prem before she raids us today. Oh yeah, we didn't get her last week. Is she streaming?
I imagine if he said that.
Oh wow, I got a bunch of people.
Guild Wars 2.
Guild Wars 2?
Oh, holy crap. We were just She's seriously playing Guild Wars 2.
She was mentioning something. Oh, I see you're doubling up there, Nolan.
You're cheating. Cheating on us. See how it is, Nolan.
Oh, Deltarune Chapter 2's out. That's pretty cool too.
Yep. I'm waiting for the whole game to come out before I touch it.
Well, she's playing an MMO. I'm not too worried about it. So Sweetie looks up, and then at this point, no,
we just walked into the bedroom and caught you in the act. Don't try to deny it.
No, I see him doing that a lot. He kind of pops up all over the place, which is fine. I just like making fun of people for stuff. Like kind of a pastime, right, Michael?
Sure. Tear rolls down my eye.
Okay. And at this point, then, we're going to go to the door.
You want that door to open?
Yes.
I will do that this week.
I will. It's not a rush. It's going to take a couple weeks before
You're like
I finish
nearly
this.
done. And I can only
haven't
do
even
it
animated these shots.
because that's the only time I have a lot of free time. Because you work me the rest of the week. It's like...
I work you? How do I work you? Okay, last night you weren't on disc. No. Last night you might have been.
Hold on.
What were you doing? What were you doing on Wednesday night? You weren't on Discord. You have a different chat we're in. What
was I doing Wednesday night?
You reading a book? Watching
No.
YouTube? Going to bed at 7 p.m.?
No, well, that last one maybe a little bit. I think I was just playing Surviving Mars. I thought it was online. No, I was in Discord.
What is this? Oh, the camera got moved there by accident.
I remember coming home late because I was fussing with my radio, cooking supper in the form of Dino Nuggies were last night. So it was burgers. I cooked burgers. And I went upstairs and I played Surviving Mars.
Move that a little bit further back. Actually, I am like this because I want to. I don't want it too close.
Later days. Oh, you gotta go see a sunset.
Later sunset. Gotta make dinner. Well, I hope it tastes delicious. Aperture's a little high for 50. Okay. And then we're just going to have Sweetie Belle kind of like up here.
She's cute. She is a cute.
She is
what?
Way bigger than I think.
No, that's appropriate size to that door.
Yeah, but I need more visibility because the tractor's going to come through. I don't want to have. I would rather have it be like this, but there's no way I could possibly do that. I would have to do something like this.
I could get rid of that wall while I'm making the door open, and you can have it just for that shot.
What I would need is this model without the door.
Yeah.
And then the door itself.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would basically just create 2 separate models.
As long as you make both sides.
Yeah,
well,
I can mirror it. It's fine. It would not be hard.
I've heard you say that on a bunch of stuff, and then 3 weeks later, as you spent 4 hours a night on it.
I didn't spend that. A lot of it was just figuring out what I needed to do. I know what I need to do now.
Yeah, so it would need to be something like, I need it to open in such a way that I can't see outside.
Yeah.
And I have
that would be up to you. Like, I'll make the door open. How you open it.
It needs to be.
Why don't you just create a small outside?
Yeah, I did. Because I'd have to do a whole outside area for that small purpose.
Just do what is it called?
No, I think this is fine right here. I don't mind this little couple things showing right here, as long as I'm just inside. But at this point, I've got decent visibility top to bottom, so I'm pretty fine. But what I didn't like where it was this. This was too close. I wanted it to be wider, and this is not a type of shot that a 35 mil would work in. Like going something like this, it's too wide angled.
I like that position right up against the wall.
No, that 50 is what will work fine.
Yeah, I think that's good. That right there is good.
No, this is 30. This is less than 35. This 50 is what I should be working with. So we'll do something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll make that door a separate thing. Shouldn't take more than an hour.
4 weeks later.
Well,
Lazy. How are you doing? Happy Friday. Friday, right? Yeah, it's Friday. Working on some video stuff. We got Lazy Horse. She looks up and she's like, "Holy crap! Somebody's at the door. It's DoorDash. They brought my pancakes," and she's super excited. She's like, "Yes, pancakes, pancakes."
It's the future.
She doesn't realize that DoorDash needs money though. She thought it was just free food because that's how kids think food works.
I can see Rarity coming in, being all old as she is, and be like, "Sweetie Belle, there is stuff for pancakes in the kitchen." And
Didn't she try?
But they didn't deliver them.
In the episode where she tried making foods.
Tried to make toast.
And
it was basically just a bowl of mush.
I thought it was like burnt to hell.
Well, she burnt everything else, the heck. And then the toast was just a bowl of mush somehow. Which was super cute. Like, that's a good episode. Season 1 has its moments.
Well, that also shows her parents too.
Yeah.
For the first time.
First time.
All right. So this is going to be, so at least for planning purposes, we have boutique introduction, Sweetie on the couch, and I'm going to have like random TV noises playing. She also burnt the juice.
Yes, she burnt the juice.
And then she looks up because she hears the door. So I want to have like the doorbell kind of like a knock around like here, and have her kind of like have a changed face. Then have her look up, and then have her. She's not going to be visible in this shot at the beginning. She's going to like kind of walk in, and she's going to go use the magic to open the door. And the doors, I'm going to have to use the other side of it. So if you do an export of the door, the handle has to be on both sides.
Oh yeah. Well, I'd be doing an exact mirror. So.
Okay. So the mirror is probably going to do a 180 flip so that it opens from the other direction, and I want to have it. Fire code requires the doors open out, so the door would probably just swing outwards, but the handle would need to be on the other side to make that work. And then have it wait a second, and then more than likely just have the tractor come running right through. At that point, this this scene is already basically kind of done. So that's whatever, which means I probably don't even need this shot, so I can just get rid of that. The other idea I would have for it is that she would open the door with the anticipation that she would be hit and kind of look around. But if I did that, then I would have to also do a shot from outside of here with her like looking out of a door both ways, and then having her shut the door, turn around, and then having the tractor bust through the door and hit her. To me, that would be a fun misdirection because you would anticipate that the tractor was going to come through the door. Because at this point, Scootaloo's already been hit. You now see a trend, and having that trend not happen, but then happen, I love doing that. So
this is very comical.
That scene was such a 180 in terms of mood. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Yes, hello 405. We're doing well. Fire code. Our front door opens inward. The screen door opens out, though. No,
I mean, I see that a lot.
No, if you're in a house, sure, but in large public locations that have are anticipated to have a large volume of people. So yeah, in a house with a single door, it's probably going to open outwards. If you have a screen, yeah, that probably will be the one that opens outwards, with the other one opening inwards. Because otherwise, I don't know how to make it work. But anything with a single door should open outwards because of fire code. This is a single door.
The other issue is if you have a door that opens inward, if you have a strong breeze, it's far more likely to push the door in.
I actually had it. It was a super windy day when I was younger at home, and I remember we had a big steel door to the garage, and I opened the door and I went to go shut and I went to catch it. I don't know why, but I put my hand in the door, and this big steel door slammed right on 3 of my fingers. And it hit it so hard that within about 12 hours, the fingernails for those 3 fingers just fell completely off. So I had 3 fingers without any fingernails.
I managed to do something where I smashed a finger where I lost the fingernail. I was a kid. And did you ever ride on the bottom of the grocery cart when you were a kid? Like the bottom, like the under area where you like put...
not that I remember, but I probably wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, like I was under there one time, and for some odd reason, my genius self thought, hey, I can touch the floor. So I touched the floor in front of the wheel, and then my mother, with the weight of me on the bottom, ran over my hand, and it crushed my finger, and the fingernail fell off. So my mom ran over my hand. Good times.
Sounds like just a continuation of your childhood.
She always I can't remember which store it was, but there was one store that had a ton of room on the bottom on their carts.
Fingernails is one of the only injuries that make my stomach turn. Really? That doesn't bother me too much. I think the only issue I had was like salt, because it was like a little bit more raw skin, and it was just annoying for a while because it takes a very long time for fingernails to regrow, and it was a little weird falling off. The fingers hurt, but the nails falling off didn't, surprisingly. So,
I would think, like, the whole idea of, like, tearing off a fingernail is pretty unnerving.
You ever notice some games would have doors open both ways? That's just because it's easier for a game to have doors open out. There's less clipping. A door that opens out, you're never going to have a character clip, but a door opening in, you would.
Yeah.
The tractor. No, I'm just thinking it's a fire code thing, so that's why. Because I think it's like one of the old fire alarms went off in Chicago a long time ago. There's a bunch of people that died because of fire. There was an actual fire, and everybody got to the door and they couldn't get out because there's so many people pushing on the door, nobody could open it. So that's the reason that it opens out. I lost a few toenails. Everybody's apparently lost nails. Anyways,
I have a bunch of ingrown toenails.
We're going to be done today because there's not much more I can do in this one. The planning is hard, though, because it takes thinking and setup, and then, like, does it actually work? And so we got to that point, and so we can at least consider this good to go. So, like I mentioned, we'll be streaming Sunday. I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do then Sunday. But otherwise, Tuesday and Friday next week are the same. Thursday, I'm probably going to be streaming as well because it's my birthday. And we'll just do some random whatever stream. Probably going to be a game. Well, it's going to be a game stream. but I'm probably going to just kind of pick something at random that I think would be fun to play because it's my day and I don't care. So,
party and you'll cry if you want to.
yes, and this is what I'll look like on my birthday too. I'm going
So
to grow out all the facial hair for it. Anyways, let's a happy early birthday. Well, thank you. I'm at that age where I'm just feel old, so it doesn't matter.
What are you going to be, like 27?
Yep. Okay, she's still over there. So, okay, they're playing Guild Wars, and
which is crazy.
Which is the jumping was after jumping was nerfed. I didn't care anymore. So, what do we want to say? What do we got to do? And so, if you stick around, if you want some channel points, which you can do for Michael takeovers and stuff. Here, I was really nervous to ask, but I'm hosting a collab and I'm having trouble finding people to join it. Would you possibly think about being a part of it? Probably not. And it's not that I don't want to be a part of collabs. It's just that I've joined a lot in the past and it took away from the time to do my own stuff. And so I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't join collabs for quite a while. So even if it came from somebody that I trust and I know and was like a close friend, I probably wouldn't join it because I've spent too much time doing that stuff, and some of it screwed me over, some didn't. But I just need to focus on my own stuff for a while.
Yeah.
So
a lot of work down the drain.
Well, yeah, but no, that was for the stuff that I got screwed over on. But even so, it's just it's a lot of work spent where I could be building up my own stuff, and so I'm trying to focus on my own stuff for now. So I appreciate the offer, but I'm trying to stay away from a lot of that stuff for right now. But let's go over to there. So what do we want to do for her? We did some with pickles. And then beans. What's
another funny
not vegetation food? She's playing Guild Wars, but I can't remember enough about it. SpaghettiOs.
That's too hard to spell.
Yeah, that's too hard to spell. What? Okay,
just go in there and say butts.
We can do butts. I like butts.
Yeah, butts is good.
So let's do butts. So we're gonna read Ben Prem, and everybody say something about butts.
Yes.
Not anything creepy about butts.
Just butts.
Just something about butts. But I'm gonna jump to the kitty here. So thank you all for hanging out with us and getting some work done. I do want to try to get some more work done on this kind of tomorrow myself. I was always going to do podcast stuff, but I did it all today, so that's all ready to go. But thank you to Null and Swordware, Terrapulse, and Warhorse for some of the bits. Appreciate it. Also for the new follows, thank you to G-Check George. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Larry Butts. You can say Larry Butts. That's fine. I don't know who the hell Larry Butts is, but he seems like a nice person. Spam Hydrate. If you have channel points, you can spam Hydrate. That's a good thing too. She needs to drink water. Water is good.
Yes, she's clearly dehydrated.
Yeah, always. So, all right. I will see you guys later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.